Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Broken Tables podcast. This is episode number 15. I am your host, Jeffrey Vegas, here with our co-host, Rome. This is the weekly wrestling review show. How you doing tonight, Rome?
I'm doing fantastic.
Awesome, man. Welcome everybody watching live on YouTube, and if you're catching us later on our Spotify or Amazon podcast or Anchor, welcome to you guys as well. Be sure to hit that follow button or whatever the equivalent button is on your podcast app there. So we're going to be going over this week in wrestling, man. What do you got to start us out with?
Well, I figured it would be most appropriate to start with kind of the heaviest story of the week, which was Scott Hall passing.
Yeah, I agree. I think I have a screen built for this. Give me one sec here. Yeah, so you can go ahead and get started. I just got a screen that I'm going to pop up here.
Gotcha. So I think Scott Hall is probably one of the most underrated but influential guys in the business, in the industry. I mean, you just think about everywhere this guy's been, everything he's done, from Razor Ramon, probably one of Vince McMahon's, the 90s, the early 90s, WWE was kind of terrible because it did a lot of these really stupid gimmicks, like the dentist gimmick, the garbage man gimmick, and not many of them worked out. But Razor Ramon is one of those characters that just worked.
So good.
He was so cool and so quotable. It's funny because I remember I used to work with a guy who he was a little bit older than me. His prime was like the late 80s, early 90s for wrestling fandom. So like when he found out I liked wrestling, he started talking like Razor. Like that was his go-to connection with wrestling. Like it wasn't, another act from that era that was big. It was Razor Ramon. That was his go-to. He said Chico. He's like, I am the bad guy, the Razor Ramon, and it was great, man. And he did a great things in WWE under Razor Ramon. He did great things when he went to WCW, created the NWO, one of the greatest factions of all time. And I have kind of a small thing that I always remember, was the curtain call incident, So when I fell in love with wrestling, I was I wanted to know as much as I could about it, not just the on the screen stuff. That's why I love knowing, the ins and outs of it. And the curtain call incident with Scott Hall, Hunter, Sean, and Nash was was opened my eyes, especially when I was younger, where I was like, oh, I mean, what the hell, this is crazy, what's going on here, I want to know more about why this happened. And
now, for some of us who may not know, what is the curtain call incident?
So the curtain call is when Scott Hall and Kevin Nash were leaving to WCW. Now there was the Clique was the group, and it was basically Shawn Michaels' circle, his inner circle, his friends, and it was Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, and X-Pac, the Kid, Sean Waltman.
Okay.
And so it was a house show in Madison Square Garden before. It was their last night in the company. It was Hall and Nash's last night in WWE before they went to WCW. At the time, Triple H and I think it was Triple H and Nash. No, it was Triple H and Scott and Razor Ramon were heels, and Shawn Michaels and Kevin Nash were baby faces. They had this match, and after it was the last match of the night, and then at the end of the show, all four of them come out to the ring and they share a moment with each other and they hug, and it was again, this is 94, 95, whatever it was.
Yeah.
This is complete breaking of kayfabe. Jim Cornette has a fucking heart attack. It's it completely shows the other side of the business.
Yep.
And obviously in the mainstream things, the current calls, whatever, but to wrestling fans like me who really care about the ins and outs, like the whys, the storylines. Like, yes, it's scripted, but like knowing about the minutia, like getting into it, the details, and overthinking things. Like for me, that spawns from that curtain call incident. Um,
Gotcha.
so I just, a lot of memorable stuff.
Yeah. So for me, I was actually a WCW watcher as a young kid. So I had not seen Scott Hall until they had come over when they made their appearance. Him and Kevin Nash showed up, and the announcers were freaking out, like, "Oh my God, they're from the WWF." Um, and I remember being like, "Those are outsiders," and they called themselves the Outsiders, right?
Yeah, they were the outsiders.
Yeah, and I was like, I hate those guys. And then, but as soon as the NWO formed, I was just like, I love these guys. And he was one of my favorites, man. The toothpick and all that stuff. Like, I love that dude.
Yeah, man, he had great lines. He was really good. He sold his character. With his passing, I started to like read up on him a little bit more and just kind of educate myself more than what I had already known.
Yeah.
Um, I found it hilarious that he pitched the Razor Ramon character to Vince, and basically it's a ripoff of Scarface. But Vince McMahon
Yeah.
and Pat Patterson had never seen Scarface, thought it was a completely original idea, and heralded Scott Hall as a genius.
They were like, this is great. This will make millions.
Yeah, they were like, "This is incredible! Like, you came up with this?" And like,
That's
and
awesome.
Scott Hall said in an interview later on, like, "I just thought they were being really nice. I was just doing Scarface." But no, they really thought that it was an original idea.
That's good.
Um,
That's good.
but he sold it. I was watching some old promos too, like him sitting at a table, and the guy hands him the bill. He's like, "What is this? The bill? Would you ask me to sweep the floor?" Like, it's just, it was so good.
Huh.
It was very good. The guy was amazing. And other things, I read up on him. Is like he never wanted to be the guy with the world title.
Yeah.
He wanted to be the guy that was putting over the guy to win the world title.
Man,
And
he,
yeah,
he was an amazing intercontinental champion. Like, it just shows how much of a joke they've turned that belt into.
yeah. I mean, I don't even want to. I want to focus on the positives.
No, yeah, yeah,
It's like
absolutely. I'm
like
sorry.
that ladder match with Shawn at WrestleMania 10. Like, oh my god,
Yeah.
like Shawn Michaels is one of the best to ever do it. And it's like, man, that match is incredible. And that match is so influential to so many guys that we watch weekly.
Yep.
It's a lot. But so, rest in peace, Scott Hall. But
Absolutely.
that legacy will live on.
All right. Yeah,
All right.
definitely sad news, but let's move on here. What do we got coming up next?
All right. So next up, I have an interesting update on Brian Cage.
Okay.
So as we had discussed a few weeks ago, Brian Cage's 1-year option was picked up on his contract with AEW, to the surprise of pretty much everyone, because the guy hasn't been on TV in 7 or 8 months.
Yeah.
So he did an appearance on a podcast. It was called the Going Broadway podcast. And Cage was asked about his status with the company, and this is a quote from him. He says, "There is a plan. I guess that's about as much as I can throw around out there. We'll wait and see. I've pitched different ideas. There were ideas that changed up towards the end. I came up with a couple of those ideas. There are different creative ideas. Some are more detailed than others. It's all supposed to formulate into this plan that is underway."
Well, that
So
sounds like he's going to make a big comeback somewhere and make an impact in the company.
that's my thoughts exactly. I think he's saying that it's something that's already underway. Um, I think with or without Cody, think this could have to do with Ring of Honor. Personally, I could see it. You know, maybe they still go with the invasion angle. We'll talk about Cody. Later on, but I mean that's something that my mind instantly goes to. I mean, but it seems like they have plans for him, so he's kind of just waiting.
Yeah.
All right, next up we have the Fed uses AEW beating them head to head as legal proof that they aren't a monopoly. Yes, you heard that right. So, for those not in the know, um, Major League Wrestling, a promotion, MLW, they are suing WWE, claiming that WWE is a monopoly on the wrestling industry. For those that aren't aware, having a monopoly is not allowed in pretty much any industry.
Especially
So,
in the United States.
especially in the United States. So they're suing WWE, claiming that they are a monopoly. WWE is using Impact Wrestling and AEW as legal proof in a courtroom that they are not a monopoly. They cited when they did the Rampage SmackDown head to head, where SmackDown stayed on late, and AEW beat them head to head. That's the key piece of evidence that they're using to prove that they're not a monopoly. But the Fed will tell you that they're not competition. But as soon as they get into a courtroom, ooh boy, here we are.
Exactly. Now, there's a little problem with their argument here. MLW is not alleging that this was this year. They're alleging this was over the past, decade of them not allowing them to get a TV deal. You know what I mean? So they're not saying like, oh yeah, 6 months ago the WWE was a monopoly. They're saying, for the past 10 years, they actively stopped us from obtaining a TV deal. So, I don't know if it's actually a decade. Like, don't quote me on that one for the court case, but I'm just kind of saying, it's a much broader timeline than the WWE being like, look, AEW exists, Impact exists. Like,
Yeah, I mean, so like I don't know. I mean, I hate the Fed as much as the next guy, but I don't know if I would consider WWE a monopoly. I mean, my question to them is maybe they stopped you from getting a TV deal with USA or one of their affiliates, but
yeah.
there are
Now,
other options out there. I mean, Impact has still been going on for however 20 something years. Ring of Honor was figuring out some syndication. So I don't know.
yeah.
I don't think the MLW is going to do too well in this personally.
No, I agree, especially using the word monopoly, because I don't believe they're a monopoly either. There's New Japan Pro Wrestling, there's
Yeah.
Impact Wrestling that's been around for a long time.
They've
What I
definitely done
think,
some shady shit to try to keep other promotions down. That they've definitely done.
so
But
that's where I think they have a case. And I think somebody is just throwing the word monopoly out there to describe this case. But I actually believe that's what the heart of this is, that WWE actively sought to stop them from obtaining a TV license somewhere. You know what I mean? And if that's the case, then they probably have some sort of, probably just going to settle. WWE is just going to be like, here's 10 million, go away.
right. Yeah, possibly. It's something very interesting, and we will keep our eyes on it.
Yeah, I'll follow that
Um,
court case. Actually, I watch a couple of channels on YouTube myself that are about lawyers and stuff, and they did
mhm.
speak about this. So when it actually comes up, they may actually cover it. So I'll be in on it.
Yeah, keep us updated.
Yeah.
All right, next up, Jonathan Gresham is going to be a part of either All Elite Wrestling or Ring of Honor. Jonathan Gresham from Ring of Honor. We don't know exactly where he'll be or what his role will be, but news did come out that he will be working under the Tony Khan umbrella.
Nice. Um, I know he is still the interim or some sort of Ring of Honor champion. Isn't that correct?
He is, yes.
So I would think it'd be a good idea to keep him down there, or maybe have him drop the title instead of just kind of like giving it back to the guy who was the regular champion, and then bring him up to AEW. But I would like to see him at least defend that belt once in the new Ring of Honor under Tony. That'd be nice.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. There's not much to go off of, unfortunately, with that. That's all I got, but
Yeah.
we'll see what happens. We
Now,
don't know much about what's going on. We do have some news on ROH, which we'll get to in a little bit. But
yeah. Now, real quick, touching on Jonathan Gresham, do you know who his wife is?
no.
His wife is Jordynne Grace, the Impact former women's champion.
Gotcha.
And she actually is the one who turned my mind around on intergender wrestling. She had an amazing match with Matt Cardona. It was insane. And if you follow her on Twitter, you know how I'm talking about. She's a very, very good follow on Twitter.
Yeah. Speaking of Impact, I am a little jealous because right now, currently, there is Impact TV tapings going on at the ECW arena tonight.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I wish I could
Oh,
have gotten some tickets.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I found out like yesterday, and I was like, well, I don't know if I can make it at this point, but
Huh.
yeah,
Well,
they're doing TV tapings at the ECW arena.
I really hope we get some Ring of Honor coming here because we'll be there for sure.
Yeah. Um. So yeah, that's what's going on with Jonathan Gresham. Um. We do have a quote from the Observer on ROH booking. Tony Khan will be handling the creative, but they are not looking at starting from scratch and eliminating champions or killing prior storylines.
Okay.
The quote is, I would presume that there will be a bunch of AW guys on the show just because there's nobody currently under ROH contract. Um, so, I mean, yeah, this isn't anything too new. I do have some ROH news coming up in a little bit also. But,
Oh
Tony
man,
Khan's going to be handling creative, and they're going to kind of try to continue what's already established, which was kind of to be expected, I think.
dude, could you imagine things like Moxley and Danielson just showing up one night and being like, "Who's your guys' big up and coming tag team? Bring them out here." Just stuff like that. Like randomly, just someone that we love in Dynamite or AEW in general just comes down and
Yeah.
I almost feel like a hypocrite saying that because Dolph Ziggler came down to NXT and I was like, that's a joke, but
I mean, it's different though.
yeah,
Like yes, even if ROH is used as a developmental, it's also its own entity. It's its own promotion. It's Ring of Honor. It's not the exact same thing as NXT, which is established and continue to be reminded that this is your developmental. That's it.
yeah.
I think that's worth noting.
Yeah, but I can't
Uh,
wait. I don't think Tony has ever let me down in his creative on AEW. Like I said, I hope he has the time to devote to both of them because he runs, the Jacksonville Jaguars, AEW, now Ring of Honor, and Fulham Football Club. So if he's got the time, I have all the confidence in the world. It's just, we're definitely going to have our doubts because of him stretching himself thin.
right. Um, AEW Dynamite ratings are in. The March 16th, 2022 edition of AEW Dynamite, the St. Patrick's Day Slam special, drew 993,000 viewers with a .38 rating in the 18 to 49 demo. Um, so the viewership went up overall, but the demo did go down, which was to be expected. There was a lot of competition that the demo, inside its own demo. You had the NBA, you had March Madness. So all things considered, this is a really, really good number.
Yeah, I said the same thing actually. I thought this was a fantastic number considering March Madness and everything was ahead of them. There were 6 shows ahead of them. There was NBA and NCAA, and
Yeah,
they still had the youngest audience of all of them by far, like not even close. So this is a really, really good sign and a good number for them to almost hit 1 million with 6 shows in front of them. That's great.
yeah. I mean, and everything we hear, Warner Media, the network, they're happy with these ratings, and
Oh yeah,
AEW consistently finishes, within like the top 3 spots of cable. So
now
they're not cracking the million every week, but they're still doing really well.
Now, what I'm hoping for tonight is with Rampage is a lot of people are going to fall asleep during this basketball game. Now, do they have a way to count people who have continued over from the basketball game in the way that I'm talking about, like accidentally, like fell asleep? Because their Nielsen
I
ratings come
don't
from
think
these
so.
certain people that like vote. They send in their information saying, "Hey, I watched this show and then I watched that show." So I don't know if someone fell asleep. I don't think that's going to count.
Um, yeah, I'm not 100% sure if there's anything to track that, to be
Yeah,
honest.
but it's funny to imagine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Heck is
All
this
right.
sound?
Video game talk. So we got some updates on the AEW video game, um, which I'm very excited for.
Oh my god, I can't
There,
wait.
so there is a story mode in the upcoming game, which is being worked on to include input from certain wrestlers themselves. Um, Several of the Ukes team, Ukes is the developer, that helped create SmackDown versus Raw series are a part of this process as well. Now, in my opinion, the SmackDown versus Raw games are probably peak WWE games. Like apart from like Shut Your Mouth back on the PS2,
Yeah.
like the SmackDown versus Raw games were way better than the 2K games, and they're better than pretty much every game that came before them. Especially with the story modes, because like, see, SmackDown versus Raw used to be really cool because each wrestler had kind of like their own story mode that was different, and like some of them would have like bleed in like the same like it would be like every pay-per-view was a different story that you would go through for each character, and some stories would repeat like for different characters, but like if you wanted to get all of the stories you had to play the story mode with all of the wrestlers, and I always thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I didn't play too many of the games back in the day. I played them a long time ago. Like I think I played WCW Nitro for a while, and I just played Sting over and over and over. I'm sure you can't guess I'm a fan of Sting with like my 6 Sting figures over here, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. The first wrestling game I ever played, and it was like it was way before I even became a wrestling fan, but it was on the N64. It was the WCW versus NWO game.
Oh,
I would,
nice.
because my uncle had it, and I would go over to my uncle's house, and he had it, and I would play it, and I was just like, again, at the time I wasn't really a wrestling fan, but like I just liked the game.
The
You know,
game,
I
yeah.
didn't become a wrestling fan for a few more years at that point. Um, but that, yeah, that was always really cool. So I love wrestling video games. I haven't played any recently because I do not financially support the Fed.
Yep.
So I do not buy any of their products. You know, they won't see a cent from me probably ever again. Um, but so I'm excited to get this AEW video game. I think this is really awesome. Other little news, which I just kind of want to touch base with you about, but Wrestle Quest, man, that game looks great.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
I signed up for the email alerts and everything.
so for those that don't know, Wrestle Quest was a game. It was revealed at the ID at Xbox showcase last Wednesday, I think it was. And it's basically like a turn-based RPG where you play as a wrestler, a pro wrestler.
Yeah.
Um, and there's a lot of like pro wrestling legends kind of featured. Oh, you know, they pay homage to them as well. The game looks really, really cool. Keep an eye out for that. That's not, you know, I don't know if the Fed is in on it, or well, they're probably not in on it because it's kind of more parody. Well, not parody, but like homage. It's not actually saying like Randy Savage, but you know.
Yeah. Now, I don't know if you saw, but I tweeted at the creators of the game. I said, can you please make sure that there's some AEW wrestlers in this? And they actually liked my post. They didn't say anything back, but they liked it. So hopefully they plan on throwing some in there. And we got someone in the chat. Lance Dominguez says SmackDown versus Raw is the absolute peak. And honorable mention would go to Day of Reckoning. So I don't think
Oh
I ever played
yeah,
Day of Reckoning. SmackDown versus Raw was awesome. I did play that a little bit.
hell yeah, man! Day of Reckoning was cool. So Day of Reckoning was cool because you basically created. You basically the story mode is you create your own wrestler and you start in the developmental, and you kind of work
Oh,
your way up to the main roster. Now, I always recall that game being like the hardest of the wrestling games. Maybe that's just me, but I definitely enjoyed Day of Reckoning. Like that was a cool game too. But yeah,
nice.
SmackDown versus Raw is where it's at. Like I loved SmackDown versus Raw. I think '09 was the. Oh no, it wasn't '09. Which one was the really good one? I think it was like either '07 to '09. Like that was where it was really, really, really good.
Nice.
Um, but yeah, man, AEW and video games. I love when wrestling and video games come together, and when it's good. Unlike
Absolutely. I can't wait for
2K
that
the
game. I
last
love
few
the
years.
way that it looks like I don't even know how to describe it, but it has like its own unique look that I've never seen in a wrestling game, you know?
Yeah, I saw it and I was like, I need to make sure Jeff knows that this exists because it's awesome. I'm so
Yeah.
excited for it. And for me, it was cool because it was at the ID at Xbox show, which means it's probably going to come to Game Pass. Um, which, for those not in the know, Xbox Game Pass is the best deal in video games. Make sure you get on that. It is ridiculous.
Yeah, it says it's going to be on every console, so I may have to get it on the Switch. No, we'll see.
Yeah, definitely.
If it's cross-platform, I'll get it on the PC because I know it's going to be on Steam.
Yeah, some other little news tidbits that came out about the AW video game is Thunder Rosa is in the game and has seen her model. She mentioned that in a interview with, I believe it was Fightful. And Mikey Ruckus, the guy that does all the music for AEW, says that the music for the story mode was due a week before Revolution. So, I mean, if the music for the story mode's coming together, you got to think they're pretty far along and in good shape.
Yeah.
Kenny Omega has also been, even though he's out with injury, he's apparently been very focused on the video game at the moment. He's a big gamer, so I trust Kenny to put out a great product for us.
Oh, absolutely. If there's anybody that I would trust, it's Kenny. And there's actually another person working on the game that's like part of the whole AEW games that I didn't know, and that's Evil Uno. He's heavily involved in the games and all that stuff, so that's really good to know.
Yeah, I think it's great. The AEW roster is just, I mean, me on a personal level, they relate to me a lot. I mean, a lot of them love video games. I love video games. I love Adam Cole is just like posting pictures of him and Britt backstage at Dynamite, and he's wearing like a podcast unlocked shirt,
Yeah.
and like he's coming out with the Halo gear. It's cool. It's just I love it. I love Evil Uno showing. He does his vlog where he talks to people about like what they're playing and stuff, and it's a lot of fun. I love being able to get that kind of crossover between things that I love.
Yeah. Did you see on BTE where Brandon Cutler was filming Evil Uno in the that what was that, the Rumble match they had or whatever,
Oh yeah,
and
He's like Elden Ring is good,
yeah,
Brandon.
he's like Elden Ring is good. You should play it. It was great.
Yeah, that was hilarious. I loved that. All right, it's that time of the week again. Fed blunders of the week.
Oh
Now,
boy.
now, Jeff, we did something really unfortunate this week. For the sake of our journalistic integrity, we did watch, well, attempted to watch Monday Night Raw on Monday.
Yeah.
Um,
I stomached
we
what I
did
could.
this. We did this because if Cody was going to show up, it's our job to do a show about it. So I had to see it for my own eyes. Me personally, I watched the first hour and then I took an hour break. And then I tuned back in for the last hour, but was mostly playing Pokemon Legends Arceus while
Yeah.
that third hour went down. uh, couldn't sit through it. Thought it was pretty awful. Um, so the first thing that bothers me, right? That really bothers me is Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens are very talented guys. The Fed is extremely lucky that these guys are there. And what was last Monday? Like, it was the most lazy writing where it's like, okay, so Seth doesn't have a match for Mania, which so that's something else that bothers me a little bit. But so Seth doesn't have a match for Mania, and he has this idea, like, oh, I have an idea, and he comes out and like Seth's gimmick right now, I guess, is over the top, just wacky, goofy, fucking ridiculousness.
Yeah.
And he comes out to the ring, he's like, Kevin, you're interviewing Stone Cold at WrestleMania, and that's your moment. I'm going to take your moment and I'm going to interview Stone Cold at WrestleMania. And I'm like, what? Like, is this really the direction we're going tonight? Because this is like kindergartner, like
Yeah.
level dog shit. Like, I'm sorry.
JD from NY said it absolutely perfect. He's like, this sounds like a fucking 4-year-old wrote it. And I was like, yes, it does.
It's just like these guys are so good at talking, at wrestling. Like Kevin and Seth Rollins are like amazing guys. Like, why is this what we're doing with them? Not because we're not part of that. Why is this what they're doing with them? It just doesn't make sense to me. Like, again, like, yeah, I felt like I was like a 4-year-old wrote this, and like KO and Seth are just doing the best they can with it, which they did the best that they could with it. And it wasn't, the delivery wasn't the problem. It's the words that they were speaking that just blew my mind.
Yeah, it was just utter, like, no thought put into it whatsoever.
Yeah, it baffled me. Second blunder of the week. Why is Charmel going into their Hall of Fame? What has Charmel done apart from manage the King Shill Booker T for like a year?
Dude,
What exactly did she do? Because like other managers that went in like had legacies. You know what I mean? Like Bobby the Brain Heenan had a legacy as a manager. Sherry Martel, that's probably the one that people would compare it to because it's a female manager. But like Sherry, number one, wrestled. Sherry, number two, like was a long established manager. She managed a lot of people over the years. Like she had a lot going on. Whereas Charmel just kind of came in as Booker's wife and stayed
dude,
that way and just didn't do anything really. Like I used to watch the product when she was there,
same.
and like I don't understand. Like the WWE's Hall of Fame has no credibility anyway. So it's like at this point I'm just nitpicking
Yeah.
pointlessness. It's just there's no point even bringing this up because they have no credibility at all. Like fucking Drew Carey's in the Hall of Fame for God's
Wait,
sakes.
what? Is he really?
Yeah, he is. You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, Drew Carey's in the Hall of Fame.
Wow.
Yeah, so is Donald Trump. So is
I know
Pete
Trump
Rose.
is. Now,
Pete Rose is in the WWE Hall of Fame because
I
he
know
took a
he
tombstone
is.
from
See,
Kane 3 years at WrestleMania.
the last couple days, I can see them being in the celebrity wing. Like, she doesn't have a wing to fit into. She's Booker T's wife. So there's literally two things that I remember from her, and that's it. One of them is annoying the living shit out of me every time she came out and said, "All hail King Booker." That drove me up the wall every time. It was worse than Vicky Guerrero's "Excuse Me," I swear. And then the
Yeah,
other thing I
that's
remember
true.
from her is that absolutely horrendous Kurt Angle, non-consensual things storyline.
Oh, right, yeah.
Those are
Booker, I
the
want to
only
have
two things
sex
I
with your
remember
wife.
from her. That's it.
Booker, I want to have sex with your wife. I want to, like, not just regular sex, bestiality sex. I'm like, what is that even, like, what is
Yeah,
going on? Like, this is ridiculous.
it's widely known as like one of the worst storylines ever.
I also hate this streak that I'm on now. Last week I'm talking about Matt Hardy's balls, and now I'm talking about Kurt Angle having an affair with Booker T's wife. This
I
is
mean,
where we're
hey,
at.
I brought it up, but
Yeah, you brought it. You brought it up both weeks. You're making me look really, really bad right now. I got to stop. I got to stop taking the bait on this one.
but yeah, I totally agree. There's no reason whatsoever other than are they like trying to kiss Booker T's ass right now for some reason? Do they want him to
Oh,
come to WrestleMania?
absolutely. Booker T is the ultimate shill. This is just them rewarding him for his loyalty. like,
Oh, I thought they
like
wanted him at WrestleMania for a match or something.
I'm sure he'll be there. They don't have enough of a card. They have to fucking sign Cody Rhodes to fucking fill their card.
Bring him
Like,
out with Bad Bunny again.
yeah, right. It's stupid. And the last on my list, which I have almost no information on because at the sight of it, I decided to completely ignore it until now. But apparently WWE is launching an NFT marketplace.
Yeah.
That's scummy.
They've had
And
this for a while, a little bit, I think.
well, no, they were doing NFTs, but apparently now they're doing like an NFT marketplace. I
Oh,
think it's called
okay.
like Moonsault or something. It,
Oh, I
it
got you.
it's super shitty. NFTs are a scam. Do not, please, anybody with a brain, don't do this to yourself. Look, okay, you don't actually own the image. Anybody, literally anybody in the world, can take the image and use it. So don't do this. Please don't. And let alone don't let the Fed capitalize on it. Like my God,
Yeah.
like they will stop at nothing. like they
Yeah.
really will.
In the defense of NFTs a little bit, they're in their infant stage. This is not what they are intended to be used for. They're working out all the kinks and everything. NFTs are going to be used to sell things in the future. So like imagine your car, like the title to your car was an NFT. You're going to be able to sell your car to anyone in the world in a matter of seconds. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Things
but I
like
would
that.
still have to ship the car. It doesn't
Yeah,
make.
you'll
Why
still
would
have
I
to
buy a
ship the
car from
vehicle and
across the
stuff,
world?
but it's just the pictures, the NFTs of today, that's not what it's going to be used for. So,
Are you sure? Because I follow the video game industry, and that's where they're going with it. And you know what? Maybe you're right. Maybe my experience of NFTs comes from me who lives in the video game,
yeah.
industry, and I pay attention to that the same way I pay attention to wrestling. And I'll tell you that in the video game sense, NFTs are awful. They
Well,
are the worst thing.
I don't think they've been done correctly in a video game yet, and I don't know if you paid attention to Dr. Disrespect's new game. But essentially what he's going to do if is as far as I took it, the skins on your weapons and the skins in the video game can be NFTs, right? So let's say they put out a skin for a weapon that there's only 10,000 of. And you managed to buy one for the $20 because you were first in line. You know what I'm saying?
That sounds awful. That
Well,
sounds absolutely awful.
but let me keep going real quick though. I totally get where
Sure.
you're coming from because I thought so as well a few years ago when I actually heard this. So
Sure, I'm listening. Go ahead.
so somebody pays for their skin anyway. You pay $20 for a skin on Fortnite and blah 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 stuff like that. Now let's say when you finally feel like, hey, this game might be dying, I kind of want to switch games here. I just spent $1,000 on skins over the course of these 3 years playing this game. I wonder if I can make some of my money back. So by those being NFTs, you are able to put them on the open market and see if there's any diehard gamers that want to buy them from you. You can put them on in a bidding fashion where you don't know what you're going to get for it, or you could put it up for a specific price, right? Now, I have a Fortnite account myself that's got probably $300, $400 worth of skins on it, and I have zero ways whatsoever to get any money back from that. So that's the only benefit that I see at the moment for video games to have NFTs in them. You know what I mean?
So let me just give my opinion on this, and this is complete tangent, but we're gonna go here because we're talking about NFTs.
Yeah.
So my number one issue with what you're saying is scarcity with digital content is fucking disgusting.
Okay.
That is predatory as hell. It's making everyone inducing FOMO about digital content. Like, one of the biggest things about digital content is supposed to be the ease and the convenience. Like, I'm
Yeah.
a physical media collector. I don't spend money on microtransactions. The only digital gaming I do is from Game Pass because it's such a good deal that like you'd have to be brain dead to not get Game Pass if you play on an Xbox or on a PC at this point.
Yeah.
But like, so number one, fake scarcity is gross. That's just number one.
I
Number
can see that.
two, you know, in my line of, entertainment and what I enjoy, scalpers are a huge problem. And the last thing I want
Yep.
is somebody to buy a weapon skin before I can because they're using a bot to buy it and then flip a weapon skin on me for quadruple the price or whatever.
I totally
Like,
agree with you on that 100%.
in my opinion, it's okay to have weapon skins. Like, a lot of people are like really against weapon skins. For me, it's like, if you want to have the option, sure, whatever, it's fine. I think everything should still come with the $60 or whatever you pay for the game, unless it's a free to play game, which is different. But at the end of the day, like NFTs aren't going to be beneficial really to the average gamer. Like, I hear
No.
where you're coming from. Like, you bought these skins and you're trying to sell it to make some of your money back. I get that, but like, it's just, I don't know. It just seems really scummy.
Yeah,
And
I
I've
know.
also heard people talking about how, like, oh well, what if you own that weapon skin and like it carries over to all of your games, and that's the point of owning it. Like, game publishers aren't going to be down for that. Like, if you're playing a game from Ubisoft, if you're playing Tom Clancy and you have this weapon skin,
No. Yeah.
Activision doesn't want you carrying that skin over to their Call of Duty games. They want you to
Absolutely not. No, that
give
won't
them their
happen.
money.
No, that won't happen. What they may have meant is from like Destiny 1 to Destiny 2, something like that. You might be able to carry that skin over, but no, you're not going to go from random game 1 to random game 2. No way.
Right. But no, there are people out there that have said like, "Oh, this is what NFTs could be," and like, no, that'll never happen.
No, you would have to get all these companies to. They would have to input the same technology into their games and all. No, that would not happen. No.
Yeah.
But real quick before we
So
end this, just kind of an example of mine. So I have this card right here. Let me try to get it at a good angle. This is an Adam Cole with a piece of his shirt in it, and it's number 4 out of 25. So only 25 of these exist.
sure.
Being from the world of sports cards, I kind of understand how the digital world is trying to get into that as well by making something 1 out of 10,000. But I'm where you are though. Making something limited online seems scummy because what stops somebody from actually copying it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, again, like someone could mod their game and just take the texture and
Yeah.
put it on their gun. Like, I understand. Again, like I've collected Pokemon cards, so like I understand, and like I currently am staring at every single Super Smash Brothers amiibo. I have them on my wall. You've
Yeah,
seen them.
nice.
Like I understand that scarcity is a thing, but for me, digital scarcity is just where I kind of draw the line.
Yeah.
It's just like digital scarcity makes no sense to me. I can understand maybe they're like, okay, like the amiibos, for example, like, oh well, we're only going to print like 10,000 of these, for one reason or the other, like because you actually have to manufacture them, you actually have to make them. But like with digital content, you're not making that skin 10,000 times. You're making the skin, putting it into the game, and then sending the code out.
Yeah.
So I mean, we'll just agree to disagree. It's fine.
No,
This is a wrestling podcast. It's
I
no big
actually
deal.
do really I agree with you for the most part. I do see the future of it. You know what I mean? I do see it becoming something enjoyable in the future.
Yeah. Well, the other problem is that gaming publishers will try and nickel and dime their customers. So
Yeah. And that's
usually
where
that
I'm
type of
hoping
thing,
people like Dr.
it's not going to be
Disrespect,
utilized.
you know,
Yeah, it's not going to be utilized the way people want it to be.
yeah. That's where I hope things like the Midnight Society, that's Dr. Disrespect's studio name, if you didn't know that, by the way. I'm
Okay.
hoping that things like that, where he's got the budget of a big studio, so hopefully they can pump out something that's not just there to suck everybody's money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see.
All right.
All right, back on track we go.
Yeah.
That was fun though. I like that.
Oh yeah, that
I'm
was good.
a fan of
Video
getting off
games. I
topic.
can't wait for the AEW wrestling game. I'm super stoked for that. It looks like we're gonna get it right at the beginning of 2023, maybe the end of 2022.
Yeah, hopefully. I can't wait for that.
Yeah. Um,
All right, so oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, let me go with one of these pieces that I'm really excited to talk about. One of these pieces of news here. Um, it has been announced the Briscoes are going to be facing FTR in Ring of Honor. I cannot wait for this match. I actually laughed out loud when I saw this announced because remember when Tony Khan announced that he had purchased Ring of Honor? He didn't say AEW now owns Ring of Honor. He said I own Ring of Honor. And I immediately thought to myself, like, he can do whatever he wants over there. I don't think he has any sort of contracts to stop him, you know? And sure enough, Warner, they may not want them in AEW, but he's like, they're coming to ROH.
Yeah. I mean, I think this is going to be really cool. I think Supercard of Honor is going to be really good. I'm currently planning on watching it.
Yes, absolutely.
It's on my birthday, so I mean, I don't think
Oh,
I have any plans.
that's sweet.
Yeah,
I
so
forgot your
I
birthday
took
is on April Fool's.
yeah, I know. It's great.
It is great. I bet it is.
You have no idea. Every single year, I get like 3 or 4 people who think they're the most clever people of all time, like as if I've never heard it in my life before. The two things: Happy Birthday, April Fools. Oh, so original. And then the other one is, I guess your life's a joke, and they have no idea how right they are. But again, not original. Like
Oh, that's a good one.
the
I'll have to
first
come
time
up
I
with
heard
something
them,
else.
please do. But
I got.
so here's a nice thing, right? Because it's my birthday, nobody ever plays April Fool's pranks on me.
Oh, that's cool.
No, yeah, it's great because it's like usually like I've played a really mean April Fool's prank on someone once, and like they weren't harmed or anything. I didn't do anything. It was more something I told them, and they believed me. I'll tell the story someday. You know, and maybe that weekend because it'll be my birthday. I'll tell the story. Um, maybe if I really feel like it. But no, I mean it's cool having my birthday on April Fool's Day because nobody gives me a hard time. It's just
Yeah,
you
right.
know I just get the coast. It's my birthday. What are you gonna do? Give me a hard time on my birthday? Like
Well, you're getting a really good match on your birthday. I'll tell you that much. We definitely got to watch that. Um, they've been going at it on Twitter for months now, and I don't know if you saw, but the Briscoes put out another apology about what he had tweeted back in 2013.
I
It
did see
sounded
that.
very sincere, very heartfelt, and so I actually think that they are going to slowly, I think they're going to slowly work them up to AEW. Maybe not right away, give them a couple years over in ROH, but I think before their career is over, I think we do see them in AEW.
Possibly. But yeah, no, I'm excited for that. I can't wait to hear more matches announced for Supercard of Honor. I know Swerve Strickland has a match. Um, but I don't remember who he's facing off the top of my head.
Yeah, I'm not sure who he's
Um,
facing either, but if he's
yes,
there,
he has
we're
a match.
100%. I'm ordering this.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure I am anyway. All right, so there was a lot of good podcasts this week in the wrestling world.
Yeah.
Three of them to be exact. The first one was we got AEW Unrestricted podcast with Keith Lee on it. He basically tells the story of, how he almost died and what happened with him leading up to his WWE release. Um, he doesn't get too much into like what WWE did so much as he more so talks about his health issues. Which if you were ever confused or curious about that whole ordeal, he tells a good amount of info on that. I'd recommend checking that one out. Um, I have not listened to this one yet, but Jeff Hardy's was on Matt Hardy's podcast. He
Okay.
talks about not wanting to go into the WWE Hall of Fame. He almost took it as kind of like an insult, um, because he's like, I'm not done yet. Like I have stuff to
Yeah.
give, and like also like why wouldn't I go in with Matt? Like, he talks about also the night where he became erratic. He said like I was just done. Like I'm just done. I just got out of the ring and I left. I took my heat and I left. Um, uses the words like I was finally free, stuff like that. Um, and then lastly, this one was really good, and I know you listened to it too. William Regal was on Talk Is Jericho, and I definitely recommend listening to this one. Regal talking about all the health issues that nobody like Jericho didn't even know about this stuff. Like he's telling Jericho, like, "Hey, I almost died. Like I at one point I had 24 hours to live.
Yeah.
Uh,
Nuts.
you know, open heart surgery. Takeaways for me from this one was like William Regal is just selfless, like as fuck. Like this guy just wants to help people, especially younger guys.
Yeah. He made me not want to use the word mark anymore. He hated the word so much in that interview. I was like, damn, I don't want to use this word anymore.
I know, but it's so ingrained into wrestling culture. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep calling myself a mark and calling the Fed marks marks. It's what you
Yeah.
do. It's what you do. You know,
That was a really good interview though. It brought me
it was
to
emotional.
not like tears, but it was very emotional. Yeah, it definitely got me emotional as well. It was really, really good.
Yeah, I think Regal cried like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, Jericho's a very good interviewer, man. I'm gonna have to watch quite a few of his interviews before we do our first interview here, so I can just kind of pick up on what he does because he's really good at it.
Well, he says that the big key to it is, don't go into it with a bunch of questions. Just have a conversation and see where it goes.
Yeah,
Like you can have bullet points, but like you don't want to think about all these questions you're going to ask somebody. You want to again, I haven't done an interview. Well, I did an interview at PAX once with gaming, but not like in terms of like a wrestling interview, but
yeah.
you don't, you just want to kind of just have a conversation.
I mean that makes sense.
So yeah, some great podcasts out there apart from you, apart from us. Like these are really good shows, and you should definitely check them out. Um, some real great listening this week.
Now, there was another one that you had mentioned besides Keith Lee and William Regal. What was the third one?
Jeff Hardy was on Matt Hardy's podcast.
Okay, now I missed that one. How was that? Was that a good one? Is that worth me
So I
going
only
back
got
and
to
listening
check
to?
out little bits of that one. The Keith Lee and the William Regal one, I did listen to the whole way through.
Okay.
The Jeff Hardy one, I think, literally came out either today or yesterday. I just wanted to mention it because I had read some quotes, and I thought that it sounds like a really good show. So Matt Hardy's podcast has been pretty good. He just started it. He only has like 3 or 4 episodes so far, but they've been pretty good so far. It's kind of like what JR was doing with his podcast. Kind of like a tell-all. Like they're just talking about his career.
Okay. All right, so I'm checking in on this basketball game here real quick. There's about 15 minutes left to when we are supposed to be starting up for Rampage. Let me just check and see where they're looking at on this game.
I'm pretty sure we're good on time. We have
Now,
2 big topics and 2 small topics.
Yep, go for it.
So let's get the small ones out of the way, where we don't have a lot of info. So where has CM Punk been? So CM Punk's actually been off TV due to filming season 2 of Heels.
Oh, nice. Cool.
So yeah, so they re-upped that show for a second season, and that's why he's off TV right now. I would assume he'll probably be off TV for a few more weeks, depending on how long the filming goes. I don't know how. I didn't watch Heels, but I heard it was really good. But I don't know how important or main his character is, or like how much filming it needs to be done. But that's where he's at.
I think he's one of the main characters, like one of the main 4 or 5 characters, you know?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I gotta watch it. I think it's on HBO, right?
Yeah, I don't have the HBO app or anything, so I can't see it. I'm gonna have to figure out how to watch that as well. I tell you what.
Yeah, I mean, I had HBO Max, but I was trying to save some money, so I kind of cut it for a little bit. But you know what would really make me subscribe to HBO Max on a permanent basis?
I was about to say the same thing.
Let's get some AEW ROH libraries on there. I will stay subscribed, especially if they
I'll
put
subscribe
pay-per-views
day
on there. That'd be
one.
wild.
I'll be in line.
Yeah, right. Quick update on Kenny Omega. Kenny could be out for longer than we thought. He is going to be getting hernia surgery at some point this month. Timetable on that is 2 months. There's also a concern that he might have to get another shoulder surgery, which could also obviously push him back even further. This really sucked, and I hope he's back for Double or Nothing.
Yeah, and I had actually heard of a knee surgery as well. That's going to be another 4 to 6 week. So if he does a couple of these, in line, like at the same time ish, I think he could actually be back by the end of the year. But I think we're looking to see him sometime next year, beginning of next year.
Yeah, it's super unfortunate.
It's okay. We're doing good without him. The show is not suffering without him. I think it's going to make a bigger impact when he does come back. So I'm okay with it for now.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. I mean, we're going to talk about it in a little bit, but we'll be fine. It just sucks. He's a really, one of the best wrestlers in the world, and
Yeah.
it kind of sucks to have him missing out on these feuds he could be having.
Yeah.
Especially with all these guys coming in.
I know, with Adam Cole here and all that, man.
Yeah. But I have heard that he's also still been doing his EVP responsibilities.
Yep.
And the things I was reading over the course of this week was that he's doing a very good job as an EVP.
Yeah,
So,
I heard he was the one who actually called Brian Cage and informed him they were exercising the year on his contract.
Yes, I had also heard that.
So that's pretty cool. I would have enjoyed getting the phone call directly from him,
Yeah, man. I mean, it's great. I mean, I'm happy to hear, the Bucks and Kenny, doing the EVP thing and doing a great job with it. It means that they're going to be a part of this company for a long time, unlike others, which I'll get on that in a little bit.
Yeah,
All right. Ring
What?
of Honor. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. What?
I was saying, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Ring of Honor. So Tony Khan was on Busted Open Radio this week. he confirmed that the Ring of Honor Supercard would go head to head with AEW Rampage on Friday, April 1st. He said that the show was already scheduled and the tickets were sold, so it was important for him to honor the commitment to the ROH fans.
Nice.
Um, yeah, it's really cool on his part. Super unfortunate because I'll probably watch Supercard of Honor over Rampage, but probably watch Rampage on a delay.
Yeah, I'll DVR it.
So, quote from Tony: I'm really grateful for the great partnership we have with Warner Media in general. I just think it's really good for the wrestling fans to have wrestling back on TNT and now on TBS. For almost 20 years, it wasn't there. And I think it's just great for the fans that we have that. It just feels right. The partnership has been so good, and they've been so cool that they were open to me doing this, understanding that it's a great opportunity for AEW, potentially for Warner Media in the future too. I hope with the possibilities with the Ring of Honor streaming library of past historic content, but also in the future with making new Ring of Honor content, that I was able to get their permission to do this show. Even though Ring of Honor, the prior management had scheduled it opposed to Rampage on Friday night, April 1st. Tony Khan also noted AEW and his relationship with Warner Media will remain his top priority. He also said that this was going to be a great transition show, um, from the old Ring of Honor to the new Ring of Honor.
Okay.
So some good quotes there. I mean, we're learning and learning. He also said that he plans on Ring of Honor being a weekly show, whether it be on TV or streaming. So we're starting to get little bits and pieces of what the plan is for Ring of Honor. We know it's going to be weekly. We know it's going to respect the past storylines, but it's also going to be considered a transitional show with Tony Khan taking over.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those things. It's almost like I don't want to say like the Cody situation, but I've heard so many things, and I'm like, I don't know what to expect yet. I don't know if Ring of Honor is going to be like another big time show, or is it going to be like another dark show, or I honestly don't know what to think yet.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of hit the nail on the head there. Like, it is very similar to the Cody situation where there's a lot of moving parts, a lot of things are being kept close to the chest, and we just don't know right now.
Yeah.
But I will say this: I think that this is going to be great for pro wrestling. It's going to be great for pro wrestling fans. I think you're going to see AEW's roster kind of fleshed out, stretched out a little bit so they're not so confined to the AEW TV slots. Um, Tony also said, I don't have it in my notes, but I remember in the interview, he also says that it's not going to make sense for him to move everybody from AEW to Ring of Honor, but there will be bleeding over of the two rosters. Um, so, I'm excited. I'm really excited for Ring of Honor. I think that Ring of Honor has such a historic place in wrestling. It would be really upsetting for it to die a death or end up on, as CM Punk put it, some shitty network that you can't even navigate.
Yeah, some shitty app.
Which Peacock is trash. This isn't even a knock against WWE. Peacock is awful. I don't know if you've used Peacock, but it is like the worst of the streaming services.
I only use it for the pay-per-views, and all I have to do is say Peacock into my remote, and the pay-per-view is the first thing on the screen, so that's my only interaction with it.
See, you're lucky. Over the pandemic, I kind of like went all in on like streaming services. Like I just like I had the extra cash and I had at one point I had Disney Plus, HBO Max, CBS, whatever it was called. Now it's called Paramount Plus, but it was called something
Yeah.
else back then. I had Peacock and then I had um there's one that I'm missing, I forget. And I was just like watching a bunch of stuff on all of them. And I really, really like Disney Plus and I really, really like HBO Max. CBS's was good, not bad, but not great either. But like Peacock is awful. Like Peacock is a really bad app. It's just not good.
Yeah, like I said, I've
Also,
only
there's
used
not a
it,
lot of
and
content
I
on
don't
there
even
either.
pay for it. I get it for free with our cable.
Well, see, yeah, I realized that because they weren't really telling people that. So as soon as I heard that like it was with our Xfinity, I was like, oh yeah, cancel this shit. I'm not paying five
You're still
dollars a month
paying
for
them.
this.
That's funny.
Absolutely not. But so yeah, Ring of Honor, it's here to stay, and I'm excited.
Yeah. Real
All
quick
right.
update on the game here. There is 5 minutes left in the game, and there is 5 minutes till Rampage. If you know anything about basketball, there is no way that 5 minutes goes by in 5 minutes. So we are definitely going to run past 11:30.
We will see. Just keep an eye on it. So it's time for the last segment of the show. And because of time constraints, I don't know how much we're going to talk about it, but it's time for Code Watch
Code Watch
2022.
2022.
So originally throughout the week, I did get one interesting tidbit, and it was that AEW added a shop. AEW shop added an alumni section to their roster page. The only two names on that list are Cody and Brandy.
Yep.
And for me, that's just weird. It's still just a lot of things don't make sense.
Yeah.
Report coming out today, though, is that Cody did in fact sign a WWE contract, and he will face Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. I don't know. You tell me. Time constraints. How in depth do you want to go on this?
I think we can get into it because clock is stopped on the game and we still got 4 minutes. It still says 5:11 on the game clock. We got time.
Okay.
I still feel like something is off here, but it's completely flipped my percentage. Like I was at like 25%. He showed up in the Fed. I'm at like 90% now that he will. But there is something about this that feels wrong and feels off. You know what I mean? Like they keep saying a shock debut at WrestleMania, and I'm like, you're telling everyone. How is it going to be a shock debut at WrestleMania when everyone knows? And
I think they mean like it's going to be like the Hardys a few years ago, where they just kind of came out with no build up.
yeah, but they didn't tell everybody the Hardys were there, did they? Did everyone know the day before?
I don't recall. It was a few years ago.
But that's what I'm saying. Like we know now, like months ahead of time if this is true, or a couple weeks ahead of time if this is true. It just something feels weird. I almost feel like Cody is telling them, yeah, I'll sign. And they were like, yeah, he signed, but I don't know if pen has actually hit paper yet. Cause in the article that you showed me, it actually said there's no confirmation of ink on paper, right?
That's correct. You're right. And I think we're just kind of getting down to the wire a little bit. So maybe that's like affecting my thought process on it.
Yeah.
Um, I've been feeling super negative about Cody Rhodes the last week or so.
Yeah.
I think, man, like if there's a plan here where like they send him to the Fed for a year so he can come back and be this heel that everybody fucking hates because he left us, like I get it, but it's a black eye on your legacy. It like I can never, we can't ever look at Cody the same way ever again. Like this was the guy that pioneered. Granted, not by himself, but he pioneered this company. Like he started the movement. It
He's
was a Dave Meltzer tweet that Cody responded to that started this whole thing, and it's just he talks about being the throne breaker. He talks about how he can never go back to the Fed. He talks about all these things, and he talks this huge game. And for him to do this over a couple $1 million, which he was going to make millions regardless, no matter which company he was at, it just leaves a really bad taste in my mouth. And
yeah.
like I said, it's a black spot on his record. It's a black spot on his legacy. His legacy, in my mind, it's tarnished. And like I get it. You can never knock somebody for doing what's best for their family financially.
Yeah.
And I get that. I really do, like, but
I
it's
just
just,
want so
you
bad.
were making money. You were making money with Warner. Warner loved you. They were putting you on their shows. They were filming a reality show for you. Like you were making money. Like I don't know. I don't know if I buy this whole money thing still. And that's where it just seems so out of character for the guy that, his his genuineness bleeds through the screen, or at least we thought. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe he was just that good, yeah, coming off as genuine. But like Cody was one of those guys where like when he said stuff, his conviction, like I bought it, completely bought it.
Yeah.
So I mean, if this is who the guy actually is, that's who he is, and But again, maybe that's the point. Maybe he and TK have an agreement where he's like, I'm just gonna go do this for a year, hopefully just a year, um, and then I come back. I don't know, but if that's the point of it, it's doing what it's supposed to do because you know, very not feeling too great about Cody Rhodes.
Yeah. Now, I want to compare this to something that just happened in the NFL. Because I'm grasping at straws here and hoping and
Go
praying
for
that
it.
this is not true. But I don't know the guy's name, but a guy who was about to sign with the Dallas Cowboys, who promised them he was signing with them and everything.
Yeah,
They even posted to the Twitter account of the Cowboys. They posted, we just signed a 5-year deal with this guy,
I
but
think it
he
was
hadn't
Randy Gregory.
actually signed yet. And he signed with the Denver Broncos about 5 minutes later, and they had to delete their tweet. So I'm just like, please, Cody, just be fucking with them, please. And I want to get to the end of WrestleMania, and then I want a tweet from Cody just like, LOL, you thought I was going over there? Like, I just
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, if he shows up there, he shows up there. I mean, right now, my hope, my hope is that Friday, April 1st, again, is the Super Card of Honor. My hope and pray is that he's there and not at Mania, because Mania I think is same weekend, right? Is that April 3rd?
you know
Well,
what? I
April
don't know
second
the
or third.
date because I was not planning on watching it, but
Me neither. I'm just gonna look it up real quick. Hold
dude,
on.
it
Let
looks
me
like a
explain.
Monday Night Raw card from like 5 years ago.
It really does. Okay, so yeah, so night one is the second, night two is the third, and then the Friday the day before is the Super Card of Honor. My hope and pray is that we see him at the Super Card of Honor. I don't know if we're going to,
Right.
and that upsets me.
Yeah, you know, I think there's only a very small percentage of what can happen that's not going to upset me, but we'll see.
Yeah,
So,
and do you think WWE is so? Like, here's my thing, right? If there is a plan, because we've seen that Tony Khan and we've seen that Cody Rhodes, like, they might be in this for the long haul, and that payoff would be crazy. But do you think that like WWE is not like onto the idea of that, and like, do you think that they would just bury Cody?
no, I don't think he would go back without protecting himself somehow in his contracts. I bet you he has some guarantees in there.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I'm hoping he
W-
signs a celebrity contract if he's actually going and just works WrestleMania and then peace out. You know what I
See,
mean? Like,
I'm fine with that. I honestly would. Like, I don't like the Fed, but if that's where we're going with this, okay,
yeah,
that's fine. Like, a one-off is fine. I don't have a problem with a one-off, especially if it's for this storyline or whatnot. I don't know. I just don't know. Like the reality of the situation and what makes sense are very different right now.
yeah. Like, I came up with a scenario in my head that I would have been okay with. And I'm looking at, so Kevin Owens is interviewing Stone Cold. Seth Rollins
Right.
comes out to try to interview Stone Cold as well. And somehow Stone Cold and Cody tag team against those two somehow. You know what I mean? Like something to that effect, and that would be it. Just a one off with Cody and we're done. Like I would have been okay with something stupid like that, but I don't know.
I mean, I what I think is going to happen is I think Seth is again if he shows up at WrestleMania, what I think is going to happen is Seth goes out and he's like, "I'm hijacking WrestleMania. Someone has to come out and stop me. I will not
Ah,
not be on the WrestleMania card." And then Cody comes out, which leads me actually to something else I was going to say earlier with the Fed blunders, but I really hate and it's what Vince always wanted. He wants the company to be the top star, but like I don't like how Seth's whole storyline is like that he can't get on the WrestleMania card. That like being on the WrestleMania card is such an honor. like that
yeah.
it's like, oh man, I don't know. Like I don't like that. I don't like I don't like how the show kind of like trumps it all. Like I don't know if I don't like that at all.
Dude,
Like it's okay for it to be a big show and it be considered a big show, but it's like the fact that like the whole like the pointing at the WrestleMania sign is like that's a perfect example of it. Where it's like everybody does it. And because of that, it's like the dumbest thing. Like it was cool in 2005 when like Batista or John Cena did it. You know what I mean? Like back then, all right, nobody had done it before. It was cool.
yeah.
But like now it's like every single goddamn person points at the WrestleMania sign.
Dude,
Like the WrestleMania sign is the biggest star of Monday Night Raw. Like, why is that the way that is?
the dumbest part of this Seth Rollins thing, where like I can't get a WrestleMania match. There's other matches that were started just because someone asked. They were like, "I want a match at WrestleMania," and the other person was like, "Okay." And it's like,
Right.
so you're trying to play off this Seth Rollins can't find a match at WrestleMania. Why doesn't he just come to the ring and ask, and somebody will be like, "Oh, here, I'm here." You know what I mean? Like, it's just so
Yeah,
dumb.
the storyline of it makes no sense. Like, if I'm Seth Rollins and I really want a match at Mania, just walk into the locker room and be like, hey,
Yeah.
who wants to
Who
wrestle
wants
me at
them?
WrestleMania?
Yeah. He's Seth freaking Rollins. That should be all he needs to do.
Exactly. But instead, it's like the thought that he like isn't going to make the card. You know what I mean? Like that also kind of like that's got to be shitty for the fans. So like, are you telling me that the company would be okay with one of their top guys not being on the card? Like, is that what you're trying to insinuate? Also, like Vince is just like sitting in gorilla, like, oh pal, well, just not making
Yeah.
it this year.
Sorry,
Like,
Seth. Creative's got nothing for you.
yeah, like it just doesn't make sense. Like, could you imagine like leading up to Revolution, like CM Punk's like, oh, I got nothing on the card. I'm not on the card. This is ridiculous. Well, boo hoo. Well, I've got no match. Like, it's crazy. It's so crazy.
It's just, yeah, it's just really bad. Really bad story writing right now.
Right now, more like years.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just
It's
exceptionally bad
been
right now.
again more like exceptionally bad for years. Like again,
I always
I
have to
have not
remind
watched one
myself
in a
of
long
like
time.
what they did to the Fiend, and I'm just like, yeah, that was years ago. Ugh.
Yeah, it's been years.
All right, so we still got 50 seconds left in this game. They're up by like 12. If anybody fouls anybody, they're just being douchebags at this point. So come on, guys, let's just get this game over with.
Well, I
Houston
think
is
we
going to
can.
defeat the University of AB, whatever that is.
Yeah, I mean, do you want to wrap this up and
What's that?
do you want to like wrap up the episode?
Aren't we gonna do? Aren't we gonna watch Rampage?
Yeah, but there's podcast listeners who are not going to sit here and watch us or listen to us just kind of react to things. I don't think that would
Oh
make a
no,
lot of
I got
sense.
you. I got you. Yeah, I'll yeah, we could do that. So go ahead with the closer there.
All right. Well, this has been episode 15 of the Broken Tables podcast. If you enjoyed the show, please consider liking and subscribing wherever you find us. We're on YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Music, and Anchor. We will be live following Aew Dynamite this Wednesday. But until then, for those who are listening to the podcast, we will see you on Wednesday.
Right on. Thank you guys. Peace. All right, and for those of you still with us over here on YouTube, we are going to continue on to watch Rampage here. They're about to wrap this game up. Everybody's giving each other some hugs here. They know they lost, so shouldn't be any more fouls. Should have Rampage on in about a minute. Oh, that was a good section of news there. Nice hour and 20 minutes. Not bad.
See, I told you we always go that long. You were
Yeah, it was
like, "Oh,
nice.
how's like 10:40 or whatever you said." I was like, I don't know." Like
Yeah, I didn't think
our
we had too
shows
much,
go.
but after we started getting into it, yeah, there was a lot of stuff that went down this week.
Yeah, well, I try to be as um nose to the grind as I can. I try to get as much info as I can for each show.
Man, these dudes are still shooting threes on each other and shit. Come on.
Yeah, I gotta actually turn on my cable. I'm watching. I'm playing an Xbox game right now. Not during the recording, but I had it
No, yeah.
paused. Was
Oh,
waiting for
dude,
us to start.
I can't wait for that wrestling game. What was the name of that game again?
It's called Wrestle Quest.
Wrestle Quest. I can't wait for that. It looks so good. I'm a big fan of turn-based stuff. I mean, I grew up on all the original Final Fantasy games.
Yeah, I really like turn-based RPGs too. That's my jam.
All right, this game is ending. And cut. All right, we got a commercial, and we should have Rampage shortly. So I'm actually thinking about selling my sports card collection and heavily investing in the AEW figure collection with the funds from my sports cards.
Nice.
Because I already have like a really good amount. I just need to get like here and there the ones I'm missing from certain sets. And then a few more of the like 1 in 5,000s or 1 in 1,000s.
Nice.
I have the Dark Order coming as soon as they fulfill the back order. I still keep seeing people post pictures of finding Brody Lee at Target. And I'm like, you're lying, dude. There's just no way. Like, those are not still in Targets.
Yeah, right.
It's like there's like 3 or 4 photos being passed around the internet. People are just posting them to be dicks. What? We got to watch a coach get interviewed? Get out of here.
They got to have that coverage, man.
I guarantee nobody gives a flying shit about this coach talking.
You do if you go to the school or have them in the bracket winning.
True.
As someone who doesn't get basketball, I've honestly never understood why like college basketball gets this bracket freak out treatment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I guess because basketball's easy to tournament, but it's like I don't know. It's like for me, it's like I don't like basketball much to begin with. Like the last thing that it sounds exciting to me is college basketball.
Yeah. There are people who enjoy the college version of sports a lot better than the pro version.
Oh yeah. I know a few people that like really love college football.
Yeah. And with college basketball, they're like their own niche, man. There are people who hate pro basketball, but they are diehard college basketball fans. It's pretty wild. Especially here in Philly, man. There's people who are like Villanova fans, die hard, and they just don't watch pro.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
In Vegas, it's big time on the betting. Betting on college is huge in Vegas. All right, looks like they're wrapping it up. We should get like right at 11:15 or 11:45 is what looks like what they were shooting for. All right.
They'll probably go a little bit after 11:45 because they have to probably do a commercial break.
Yep, got a commercial on already right now.
Yeah, talking to the Geico Gecko.
So this is a good chance to do you know the lineup tonight?
I don't have it in front of me, but I know it's Max Caster, Keith Lee.
Oh yeah.
Man, we went over this in the last episode of the podcast.
That's all right. I think I have a
Darby Allin and Butcher. And there's 2 more. Layla Hirsch, Red Velvet.
There we go.
And there's one more match that I don't remember.
Darby Allin and the Butcher, Max Caster, Keith Lee, Layla Hirsch, Red Velvet. And then we got that match that didn't make any sense. Bear Country and Fuego del Sol versus the House of Black.
House of Black. How could I forget about the House of Black? So, House of Black, Malachi Black posted actually a really interesting thing on Instagram, which I should have mentioned this during the podcast, but I don't think there's enough to go off of. It's just speculation. But he posted a picture of someone holding an eye patch. And I was like, oh, is this going to be the Julia Hart thing? Because like I don't know what the hell they're waiting on. I think
Yeah.
they're probably waiting on because Ray Phoenix is hurt. But it's like, man, we got to continue this storyline. I want to see Julia Hart turn on people.
I
Like,
know,
come on,
right?
man. I can't wait because Julia's new look is awesome. Like she's killing it. Like whenever she's on Dark or Elevation, she is just like this new attitude look is like totally working for me. Like I'm so into it.
Yeah, I love her. And I don't know if you follow her on Twitter, but her and Anna Jay, they're actually like good friends in real life. But on Twitter, they
Yeah.
act like they hate each other. So the other day, she posted, "Guess what?" And Anna Jay was like, "What, bitch?" I laughed so hard when I saw it.
I saw that. Yeah, I did see that.
Oh man. But yeah, I can't wait for her to. I don't know what's gonna happen with it, but I really hope she turns and joins House of Black. They could definitely use a female member.
Queen of
And
the Black Throne.
yeah, and that actually brought me to another thing. I was thinking of here is the Varsity Blondes. I was wondering maybe have them as a trios, and I thought I came up with the perfect person while I was doing some viewing. I did not know Scott Hall had a son who is a wrestler, and he's actually like pretty accomplished in the indies. He's a champion of something right now.
Oh wow.
And he's got the look, you know what I mean? But he's not exactly a blonde. He's got like a shaved head, but grow some hair and dye it blonde and have him join them. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently he had a tweet or two that people didn't like, so that's why he's not anywhere big time right now.
Man, not gonna lie, this time slot sucks.
Oh, for real, dude. Especially not even on yet. My God. It's just like more commercials for basketball. I'm like, you don't need to put a commercial for basketball on during the end of basketball.
Yeah.
Ooh, commercial for HBO. All my conspiracy theories just running wild. I'm like, there's an HBO commercial on TNT. Library to
Yeah,
HBO Max confirmed.
is someone gonna tell him or should I?
Are they owned by the same parent company?
Oh yeah, you didn't know?
I had an idea. All
Yeah,
right,
Warner Media.
Rampage.
Well, yeah, Warner Media owns HBO, and they also own it's Turner
Okay,
Broadcasting.
that's what I thought. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, which I think everything's owned by Discovery now. It's really weird. There's a lot, but yes, TNT and TBS, the networks, are owned by Warner, as is HBO Max.
Oh wow, Butcher already in the ring. Man, I hate when people don't get entrances. Darby already in the ring. All right.
It's because Rampage is so nonstop. Like
Yeah.
they just got to get going.
I'm okay with it on Rampage. I understand it. Dude, the Butcher looks
it doesn't happen
good.
too often on Dynamite.
What we saw this past Wednesday night at Dynamite, Taz. Well, after their tag team debut, Matt and Jeff Hardy were outnumbered by the Andrade family offense, but Darby Allin and
Butcher got himself into nice shape.
Came out to level the playing field.
Yeah, well, he was hurt, so he had a lot of time to rehab, and he did get in very good shape.
Yeah.
Nice strikes.
You know,
Ooh, I like
selling the
that.
shit out of him.
Just push him to the camera. That's a good spot.
Oof.
Oh, are you behind me?
Probably a couple seconds, maybe.
Impactful for sure. Body shots, blow to the head. This is what you don't want if you're Darby. You don't want to be trapped in that corner by this massive.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I am about
75-pound man.
20 seconds behind you, it looked like.
20 seconds? What the hell are you doing? What are you watching it on?
Yeah,
Like
I don't know.
your old rotary telephone or something?
It's on the PC.
Take on the very interesting
Oh man, see, that's why you can't cut the cord, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Everyone talks about, oh, I can't tell you what happens because you're 20 seconds behind.
Can you pause yours for a sec?
Yeah, that's fine. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
So
Okay, playing it again.
Darby's about to tope it. Oh my God.
Okay, he just got back in the ring for me.
Yep. Same.
And he's looking
Jesus.
back at Butcher. And now they're doing the replay of it.
Yep. We're right on.
Okay.
Oh my God, dude. He was literally running as fast as he could. That was full
He's just
speed.
slapping the shit out of him.
Good thing he's not wearing those freaking fingernails anymore, man.
Yeah, you really hated those fingernails.
I mean, I just thought they were dangerous, and then when he scratched Sammy's cornea or whatever, I was immediately like, he got to get rid of those.
Yeah, I guess so.
It was cool for his ring gear to come down to the ring, but not to wear in the ring. Like, the ladies can do it because they've lived with him pretty much their whole lives, I guess. I don't know how long he's tried doing that, but I think it was like 2 weeks in, he hurt someone with him.
So this match probably happened right after the cage match on Dynamite. This crowd must be dead.
Yeah.
Which we've seen, like, that usually happens with Rampage. It's kind of unfortunate because that first match on Rampage, the crowd's always a little out of it.
Oh, dude, he's swinging him around by his mouth.
Yeah.
That was crazy. Ooh, that's his broken hand. He's grabbing his hand.
Hey, April 27th.
Yeah, we'll be there.
Can't believe you're telling people I'm from the burbs, man. I'm not from the burbs.
I meant to say I, but I guess I put we.
You're like, we in the burbs, and I'm like, no, we not. I'm from the city. I don't live in like Center City, sure, but I've lived in the Northeast, and then I lived in South Philly, and then yes, I did move to Bensalem for like 4 years because it was right near where I worked, and but I'm back in the Northeast, you know.
Yeah.
But I've been around the city quite a bit.
It's the closest I've lived. I'm like 30 minutes out.
Oh yeah, we used to live in Vegas.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, hopefully Ring of Honor does do a taping at the arena. I'd love to take you there.
Oh, absolutely.
It's just got a vibe to it. It's right next to Tony Luke's too. We can get some Tony Luke's. Tony Luke's is good.
Ooh yeah. I've had their roast pork. It's good.
Yeah.
Dude, some Darby's matches are so unique because of how small he is. It allows people to do things like with him that they can't do with anyone else.
Yeah, man. He looks like, to quote Andrade, he looks like a kid. Fighting a grown-ass man.
Yeah. Like the way he swung him around by his mouth a minute ago, like, you couldn't do that with anyone else.
Right.
You'd hurt someone's neck doing that. He just folded him inside out on the outside. Ugh.
Well, the Butcher returning to the floor. Oh, Butcher spots the icon. Sting gets face to face with the legend. Well, we will stick with the action for the next 90 seconds in picture. You're not going to miss a moment. You're watching Aew.
So do you do the same thing I do? Like in these picture-in-pictures, you just treat it like a regular commercial and you don't really pay attention?
It depends. So most of the time, especially now, now because of the podcast, obviously during the show, I have to be a lot more like tuned into what's going on moment to moment. So it's like the commercial breaks are my time where I actually do commercial stuff. get a drink. Like sometimes, like before the podcast, if I'm watching like AEW and like, oh, okay, I think I have 20 seconds because you've been to my place. My fridge is like 20 seconds away from my couch.
Yeah.
So it's like I can like hop up, grab a drink, and not miss anything. But now, like, I want to make sure I'm getting good notes, so I kind of don't. So
Yeah.
like, plus like Jackie's usually upstairs, or like maybe I'm like getting like a snack. So actually, yes, for me, commercials now are like the picture in pictures. I don't really watch a lot of them. If I get a chance to, I do though.
Yeah.
I would say maybe out of a night, there's probably I watch maybe one of the picture in pictures, maybe two.
Same. Yeah. But I've been trying to like tell myself to watch them more because you would think that they have a lot of rest time in between these, but Darby's getting murdered right now.
Yeah, no, rest holds are not like they are not popular in AEW. These guys go.
And man, this match is going not the way that I thought, man. They got the Butchers just beating Darby's ass here.
Really, this is exactly how I thought this match was gonna
Really?
go.
Okay.
I mean, I'm surprised it's happening. It's as long as it is, but
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
I think we're a good 6-7 minutes in now, at least.
Yeah, Butcher looks good. Again, my concern is because of the late time slot. I don't know how much story we're gonna get here.
No, yeah.
So I almost expect the matches to be a little bit longer.
Yeah, we got 4 matches. I don't expect too many promos either, maybe just 1 or 2. Oh man, is he gonna win?
No. I'd be shocked if Darby Allin loses this match.
That's a scary dude, man. If I was walking past the Butcher on the street, I definitely would avoid eye contact. I liked his promo. Did you see his promo with the glasses on and the like leather jacket?
For who?
For Butcher for this match.
No, I missed it.
It was good. He actually cut a really nice promo. Looked really good. He had some aviator sunglasses on.
Get him, Darby.
Yeah, get him.
Oh God.
Telling you, man, I still to this day don't understand how you can hit those poles and not crush yourself.
I think you just gotta. It's all about bracing yourself, I guess. I mean,
Yeah.
it does hurt. It's not like it doesn't hurt.
Oh yeah, I know.
But like you just gotta. These guys know how to protect themselves. You know what I mean? Jesus Christ.
God. Splat. Oh God.
For some reason, I just thought about the Jerry King soundbite, or Jerry the King Lawler, where it's that's it, he's dead.
Yeah. Oh. Dude, look how far those stairs moved.
Oh.
That's a code red, right?
Yeah, I think that's what it's called.
Do you see how far those stairs are moved away from the post from Darby hitting them?
Well, yeah, because he smashed into him like 2 times.
Oh wait, I forgot about the Butcher knee into him. God, I hate. Oh God.
Coffin drop, son of a bitch.
And there's somebody with a coffin drop sign right there next to the Butcher. Right there, I love coffin drops. He counted out.
Wow, a count out finish.
That was cool. Count out because of a finisher. Makes sense.
Yeah, and they don't do these types of finishes very often, so I'm cool with it.
No. Yo, is that Shaggy too dope?
Shut the fuck up. No, it's not.
Very convincing face paint. That's all I can say. There's a juggalo in the audience there.
As an Eminem fan, I'm not allowed to like the Insane Clown Posse.
Didn't they squash their beef?
I don't know if they did or not, but I've never really been into ICP anyway.
Yeah, I was a juggalo at one point. And then And then I was like, what the hell am I doing?
Oh, are we gonna get a Hardy save here?
Think we might. Come on, Bryce, ring the bell. Get him to stop.
He did. Bryce is pissed. He's like, God damn it, this is falling apart. I love Bryce Ramsberg. I think he's my favorite ref. I love Aubrey, but like, man, I love Bryce.
Yo, what's up with Taz and Excalibur being like, if that is his real name?
JR says that too. I don't know. It's just Bryce, man. Oh, there they are.
Slap. Matt Hardy back in his wide-legged Jinkos from back in the 90s.
Thought about this. It's really weird that Jericho's on commentary right now. Like, he's a heel. He can't be like freaking out that the Hardys are here.
Yeah. Oh, man, I hope the Butcher didn't hurt his hand again.
I think he'll be okay. It's bleeding though.
It is. Fuck.
But Darby Allin, Sting.
Hey, now that the numbers are a little more even, why don't you get your asses in the ring? Let's do this now.
Sounds good to me. Big challenge in San Antonio here.
Matt looks good.
Come on, we'll give you room, come on.
Party's bitten big on this one, huh?
I don't know if it's just me, but Matt looked terrible in a suit. I hated it.
Well, he looked like a carny. It was the whole point.
Yeah.
These guys are gonna hop right off the apron.
Are they gonna answer the challenge?
Like, we don't have time for this.
Come on.
We're not making any money off this match.
They gotta back up. They gotta back up. I don't know. Don't give them a free match. Save it. Yeah, that's the smart thing to do.
There you go, Jericho being a heel. Don't give him a free match.
Yeah, okay, there you go.
That's what sports entertainment's all about right there, Excalibur. Live to fight another day.
How about this? If all you are too chicken shit to get in this ring with us here tonight, how about this Wednesday on Aew Dynamite in Austin, Texas?
Yeah, I don't like Texas either.
We have us an 8-man.
Ooh.
Texas
Oh. Tornado.
Wow.
Nice.
I'm all about it.
Butcher and Blade, Private Party versus myself, my brother Nero, Jeff Hardy, Darby Allin, and the icon Sting.
I'm sure he's down for it, but Sting's face right there is like, I didn't sign up for that.
Yeah, he's like, what?
Like, I mean, yeah, I guess if that's what we're doing.
So this sets up Private Party and Butcher and Blade splitting. And
You think so?
the Hardys versus Sting and Darby.
I don't know about that. I mean, we'll see what happens. I'm sure they'll have a match eventually.
Yeah, but I've been thinking the Butcher and Blade don't make any sense with the 8 or the Andrade,
It's just two
whatever you call that.
having something to do, you know? It's just two tag teams.
Yeah. Bear Country and Fuego del Sol. I still can't wrap my head around how that is happening, but sure.
It's just an enhancement match, man. Don't overthink it too much. You're overthinking it. Don't do that.
Yeah, but you know, like, give me something on BTE or something. Like, give me a Chrome here where I have like a slight idea why Fuego knows Bear Country.
Well, I think technically Bear Country are baby faces, right?
I do believe they are at the moment. Yeah.
Well, that's the connection. They're both baby face enhancement talent. It's not being mean. It's the truth.
Yeah, I know. I'm just talking storyline wise. Somehow, some way, like Fuego's from like Alabama or something. You know. I don't know.
Yeah, he's Alabama's #1 luchador.
Yeah. And say they were like visiting Alabama for some good barbecue or something, and Fuego's like, "Let me show you around, guys." Like, just something stupid somewhere.
Well, so Bear Country, I think it was Bear Bronson on Instagram, said that the reason that teaming up with Fuego. Oh, hold on 1 second.
Bless you.
Oh, geez, sorry. Man, out of nowhere. I'm glad we're not doing the podcast. Anyway, Bear Bronson said on Instagram that the reason that they were teaming up was because, like Fuego, Bear Country is sick of these Forbidden Door guys coming through and taking their spots.
What did he say now?
So Bear Bronson said on Instagram that they were teaming up with Fuego because Bear Country and Fuego are sick of these Forbidden Door wrestlers coming through and signing contracts.
Oh yeah. I heard that.
So they're mad that the House of Black are all guys who have signed with the company over the last like 7 or 8 months.
Okay, that makes sense. So Fuego could easily say that too. So that makes sense that they're all upset with these new guys coming in taking their spots. That makes sense.
That's the idea. It was actually pretty cool because I watch Kinda Funny. I don't know if you know who they are, but
No, is that like a TV show or?
no, it's a YouTube channel. They used to work at IGN, and then they kind of started their own podcasting, YouTube, like, company. And I've been a pretty big fan of theirs for years. And Fuego, it turns out he's also been a big fan of them for years. So like Fuego commented on one of their like posts, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, Fuego del Sol!" Like their fan base is called the Best Friends. He's like, "Oh my God, everyone's like freaking out that Fuego del Sol's a best friend," and like Greg Miller, the guy who kind of like runs it, they're like, "Fuego, we got to get you on the podcast." So Fuego was on their podcast, and it was a real shocker because Kind of Funny's actually worked with WWE in the past because they're really good friends with Xavier Woods.
Okay.
Like Xavier Woods is like, because he started his YouTube channel, and so he's really good friends with them. So because of that, they end up talking like a lot. Like they're not a wrestling centric thing, but they do talk about WWE sometimes because of Xavier. So it was a real big surprise to see them work with Fuego because usually WWE, it's like if you work with AEW, you're kind of blacklisted type deal. So yeah, it was cool to have him on there. It was cool having Fuego.
And they just showed that clip of Phoenix jumping off the top of the freaking cage. That was insane.
I love that they gave Dan Lambert the other belt.
Yeah. Dan Lambert used the wrong hand for the L.
Well, guess what? You keep making excuses. I make history. You're making history.
And I'm just going to say it right now. Paige Van Zandt is way too hot for her husband. That dude looks like total... I'm just going to not continue that sentence. I'm going to beat my ass.
First time in history that a contracted an STD. Tell him what you bring to the party, Paige.
Let's see. I look better than any woman has a right to. I fight better than any man could hope to. And I print more money than the Federal Reserve. So you can jump on board the Paige Van Zandt train. Or you can get ran over.
Wasn't too bad.
No. Snap. I love the snap from Scorpio Sky to cut the lights.
Yeah.
Wait, what just happened? We saw Layla working out on a punching bag, and then all of a sudden she was walking out. Is that part of her
It's part of her
Jumbotron?
entrance. It's her Jumbotron.
Okay. I thought we were seeing like a cut scene of her working out, and then all of a sudden it was just like, nope, cut to the match.
She's so small.
Yeah. Not a fan.
I don't mean it in a mean way. It's just it always kind of like when they do the hard camera shot, it's kind of like zoomed out.
Oh man, people on Twitter are not nice about it, tell you that much.
Yeah, fuck them. Who cares? Oh, they're gonna fight. Oh, here we go.
Get her.
That's right, and
They're not waiting. Right on the rampway.
Layla Hirsch looking for a German.
Oh, I was like, man, suplex on the outside. Whew.
We know the hardest part of the arena is that round.
Oh!
Oh my God! What a suplex!
Somehow I'm like 5 seconds ahead of you again.
For the bell.
Match hasn't even started yet.
And it was Layla Hirsch that charged up the ramp to get her hands on Red Velvet.
But Red Velvet's feisty. She don't take no crap from anybody. She
Might
was
be some
waiting,
like little bit of buffering on my
Usually
end.
see Red Velvet when she's at the top of the ramp. She likes to
What do you
ball,
watch it on? Do you have like YouTube TV or something?
So I have Xfinity, and it allows me to watch my Xfinity on the PC as long as I'm in the same house with the router.
Yeah.
But like if I went to your house with the laptop, it would be like, no, you're not in your house.
Yeah, kind of crappy. I mean, like, I understand why they do it, but it would be really cool if you could just be like, log into your account and be like, all right, here you are. Here you go.
Yeah.
Like, it sucks for me sometimes because, like, if I used to try to watch, like, football games on Xfinity, like, when I was at work, if I ever had to work on a Sunday, and it just would stop working as soon as the NFL came on.
Yep.
Because, like, of agreements and stuff. Like, oh, you're not in your house, so
Yep, exactly.
screw you. It's like, damn it.
Speaking of kind of that same subject, Netflix is about to introduce something to where you can't share with your friends and family anymore. So
I mean, they've missed out on millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Billions, probably.
I think for about 5 years now, I've used somebody else's Netflix that I don't even have contact with them anymore.
Yeah, but like, they're not going to say anything to you. It's like, whatever, man.
That was a nasty bump Velvet just took off the top.
Yeah, it was.
Oof. But yeah, you're going to have to pay extra for somebody outside your house to be able to access it.
I mean, it makes sense. I can't knock it. It just,
No.
you know.
I was surprised they let everybody do it for as long as they did.
Well, this match will continue in picture-in-picture. Red Velvet versus Layla Hirsch, one-on-one.
Something's not there.
I mean, like I said, I had a coworker at a restaurant that I worked at who let me use his Netflix, and he let me make my own profile. And for like 5 years, I've been using his. And it lets us use both of our profiles at the same time. So it's like, what's even the point? You know, you can almost go in with people and like split the cost of a Netflix at, you know.
Yeah, no, I get it.
But not
John Moxley versus Will Ospreay set for New Japan Pro Wrestling Windy City Riot.
Oh, that's why I made that face earlier. I forgot to mention it. I saw it on Twitter and I was like, oh my god.
When did you make a face?
When you were when we were talking about Code Watch, I saw it and I was like, my eyes got all wide, and then I meant to say something when you were done talking, but I forgot.
Oh, see, I can't see your video because I'm just on the Discord.
Yeah.
Sean Ross Sapp retweeted a really funny. It was it's WrestleMania. I don't remember the one, but it was the outdoor one in Vegas where Bret Hart and Hogan, when Hogan beats Yokozuna.
Yeah.
And it's a picture of Bret pointing to the ring with Hogan like, oh man, I better go in the ring. And it says Brock Lesnar telling Cody Rhodes to go get Roman Reigns at the end of WrestleMania Sunday. I can't see them having the balls to do that. They're not going to put the title on Cody. If he goes there, he's not gonna even sniff the championship. I'm telling you, there's no way.
I
just don't see it.
So look at it this way. Right now, I don't think Cody needs the WWE. I think they need him.
Absolutely. But I don't know, that doesn't make me feel any better about him. Tell you that much.
But I don't know. I wouldn't say they're going to put Roman's belt on him because I don't think they're letting Roman lose that belt till The Rock comes back. But
Roman is totally going to beat Brock at Mania. This is what Vince wanted. This is what Vince wanted for years. Are you kidding me? This fucking WrestleMania match right here that he has this year, like
the biggest WrestleMania match of all time.
Yeah, they're calling it stupendous, and I'm like more like fucking stupid.
Dude, the way Pat McAfee says stupendous all the time, he's making fun of it himself. It's like even he's joking about it.
It's ridiculous. Like the most stupendous WrestleMania of all time. Like, what are we doing here? Why are we doing this? Why are they doing? Again, I keep saying we. I'm not part of that. What are they doing?
Yeah. Now people are like, Cody's gonna be the one to bring a bunch of AEW people over to WWE.
No, I don't know about that. I think Cody going to WWE is a complete rarity that you will not see very often.
Oh yeah, for sure. All right, we are back.
Velvet, nice slip right there. Oh, wow. Shot to the back of the head. And then a left hand to the kidneys, a kick to the back of the neck. And impressive.
Did you notice that Layla Hirsch, yeah, maybe it's because of this, but she changed her gear, probably because of the whole Russia thing.
Yeah, I see that now. That's... Okay, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good idea not to associate yourself with that stuff, but it does show, like, just how different the times are. Like, if this was, like, 20 years ago, Layla Hirsch would be the biggest heel in wrestling right now.
Yeah, they'd be using it.
Yeah, but no, I mean, I understand, though. I mean, like, there's literally fucking genocide and war crimes going on over there, so it's different day and age, I guess.
Yeah. But I thought after the way that she posted her stance on it, I thought we were done with it, you know what I mean? But whatever.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I don't think it's, like, anything like that. She just probably doesn't want to wear the Russian flag on TV right now.
Yeah.
She doesn't say anything else about it. I'm just making a random connection that I just realized it's different gear that she usually wears.
Yeah, I mean, I noticed it, but I didn't notice it, if that makes sense. I was like, oh, she matches Red Velvet. That's weird.
Layla Hirsch put in so much punishment on the shoulder of Velvet. Velvet, I feel like she was trying to get to the ropes here, but if she breaks that grip, it could be it. She's on the rope. She's going to get the rope, I think. She made it. Velvet, the toe of her boot on the bottom rope to force the break. That's all you're needing. Jericho pointed out the long legs earlier of Velvet, and it paid off there. Paid off, exactly. Yep. Here we go. Oh, Layla Hirsch. She got caught outside the ring she goes. Good scouting there by Red Velvet. Yeah, Red Velvet heard the footsteps.
This is a decent match, but it's gone on too long already.
I mean, again, this is kind of what we should have expected from Rampage this week.
Oh, she's got the thing again, the turnbuckle.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, hello, Statlander.
I do like Statlander's look right now. I think it looks good.
Absolutely.
And she still does some sort of paint, so that's nice.
Yo, you see this cameraman here, that tall guy in black? Everybody thinks that this guy is somebody. And I'm like, maybe he's just a huge cameraman.
I stand corrected. I was very skeptical. I think Statlander looks great there.
Yeah, she looks freaking awesome.
I was concerned that it was going to be not good to ditch the gimmick, but I mean, she looks pretty cool. I'm down.
Yeah, I'm slightly confused that the black is almost heelish and her look on her face is almost heelish, and she's kind of making a save.
She hates Layla Hirsch.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, we got a promo.
The whole world is still buzzing about what Hook did to me at Revolution. I mean, my own mother called me up on the phone, worried about me. She said, baby, how are you feeling? Are you upset after what Hook did to you? And I said, Mom, upset? I'm proud. I said, Mom, do you remember when I graduated from Freehold Borough High School? The same high school as the boss, Bruce Springsteen himself.
The boss?
Yeah, the boss. Glory days. Born in the USA. Well, brings me to my next point. Next week will be the glorious day of them all, when I invite my prize student, Hook, to the ring, live on Rampage, and I present him with the first ever, the inaugural
live on Rampage
QT Marshall certificate of accomplishment.
That's cool. I'm glad that they're still doing this.
Yeah. All right. Let's see if Max Caster knows how to fly. Marshall. Boo. And boo this time slot. Boo.
Yeah, it gets a little rough.
I'm surprised I'm awake right now as much as I am.
I am too. Well, I'm surprised you are awake.
Normally I'd be like dropping my phone on my face in bed right now. I got a new phone that's like twice as heavy as my old one. I dropped it right on my face. Oh, it hurt so bad.
Oh, this is cool. So, following Notre Dame's cathedral's devastating 2019 fire, archaeologists have discovered a lead sarcophagus alongside several sculptures and tombs buried under the church.
Wow.
The remains are likely those of a high dignitary.
Huh.
Estimated to be at least 700 years old.
Wow.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Someone commented, "Do you want vampires? Because this is how you get vampires."
What if it turns out to be I don't know if it's a true story or not, but like the Hunchback or something from that storyline.
Oh yeah, right. There was another funny thing I saw where like apparently like archaeologists in Egypt found like a skeleton with like a really like an obsidian eye or something in one of the eye sockets.
Huh.
And people were like, "Do not, do not fuck with that eye." You will literally start the apocalypse.
Right. Oh man, if I could do a whole podcast about the pyramids, bro. I've done so much research on the Great Pyramid and stuff.
Oh, nice.
I've seen a guy who's a like hydroelectric engineer basically figured out what they were made for. Very cool. This ridge wallet's hilarious. You know those little black clips that have like the two metal wings coming off of them that you could put papers together with?
Yeah.
So I've been using one of those since I was like 16, and it's better than any wallet anybody has ever got me to try. You just put your cards in the middle and you wrap your cash around it or put it in the middle if you want. Works.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, here we go. Okay, we're going with the Fuego and the Bear Country match.
Yeah, all rise for the House of Black.
Yeah, what was I thinking? Keith Lee deserves the main event. This
Such
entrance,
a cool
man.
entrance. Mm-hmm.
I'm just wondering why they don't give Buddy Matthews some fake tattoos like they did Tensai back in the day.
Because that would be stupid. What do you mean? That would be awful. That's some
I was wondering what you were going
right
to say.
there. That's some Fed thinking right there, my man. Are you getting a job over there? You going to Connecticut?
Big old
Leaving me
tattoo
behind?
right across his face.
Yeah, it says like I'm an idiot on it.
Ooh, that chain with the lock on it's pretty cool. Would not want that to be used against me in a fight / wrestling match.
mastermind, almost bordering on a Chris Jericho level of genius, if you will.
You're so humble, but I'll tell you this about Malachi Black. To your point, Jericho, he is definitely not.
I got those shirts ordered for the podcast, by the way.
Else, man. That's the thing that makes him so dangerous.
That should be cool if we could wear them to the event.
And we got Bear Bronson and Bear Boulder. Those are giants in there. They look intimidating.
I know me and Jenna will wear ours.
And their opponents, the team of Fuego del Sol.
Yeah, see, the temptation's gonna be real strong then for me to like just wear them under my regular AEW shirts.
Yeah,
though.
I know.
They got their back to you.
I'm thinking about cutting up my Dark Order shirt into like a tank top.
Mhm.
I already had to do it to this Adam Cole shirt. It was too big.
Matthews, Brody King, Malachi Black. Yeah, that's a whole lot of bad attitude right there between these three men.
I told you right when we bought these shirts at that event, they gave me an extra large instead of a large.
Starting things off for his side.
Oh, boot for you.
I didn't check. So for me, I was
See,
like swimming in that
I can't
thing.
I can't even buy shirts at the merch stand
Oh, that's right.
because they don't do the 3Xs, man. Which the problem is, it's not that I need the width of a 3X, I need the height of the 3X.
Yeah, the height.
Because like, and this is my biggest problem with pro wrestling tees, right? Like, so like I much prefer the too tall size. You know what I mean? Like the big and tall 2. Like that's like my perfect size. But it's like it sucks actually because I actually like, so I started doing the 3Xs to get a little bit more, again, the width of it or whatever, the length, I mean. And I was this was a few years back because I was doing Loot Crate for a few months.
Oh, nice.
And I put like a 2X and the one shirt was like way too short on me. And I was like, all right, this, like, it was the first time I tried a 3X and the 3Xs were no like longer. They were just wider. And it was even worse because like, I looked like I was wearing kind of like a, call it? Kinda, yeah, where it's just like, it was wider. So it made the shirt kind of poof out on the sides, but it wasn't any like longer. So I was like, this is awful.
I was telling you, I was laughing at.
3Xs are pretty good. So I mean, they get the job done.
Yeah, I was laughing at Bryan Danielson's new shirt. It's organic and it costs $5 more.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
We want the organic shirts, and they do cost more.
The description is hilarious though. It's like made from organic fibers from blah blah. It like goes on this description of how organic it is.
Fuego just got fucking decked.
Oh shit, that was awesome.
God.
Fuego del Splat.
Yeah, I feel exactly how Jericho just said. Like, I didn't watch Brody King at all, and like, man, this guy is so good.
I know.
Like, Brody is so great.
Brody's voice, dude, when he talks, it's like an HBO like documentary voice. I love that dude's voice. Oh, good night.
Ref's got to get control. It's a 3-on-1 situation here.
I agree. I feel bad for Boulder.
Boulder's getting ping-ponged around by the House of Black.
Oh, jeez Louise. It's like whack-a-mole in there. But we
Mustafa Ali tweeted 20 minutes ago, a humble and fair warning. As soon as all this gets sorted, I'm going to absolutely body all your faves.
Have you seen him lately?
No, he hasn't been doing anything.
He's ripped. He's been working out.
Oh, I'm sure. He's off TV. He's a man on a... Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. Holy shit.
Woo!
Incredible. Man, that is fucking amazing.
Dude, Buddy's finisher is sick.
That was wild. I don't even remember what I was talking about 30 seconds ago. I don't even want to remember.
Damn. I got some pretty cool black outfits, man. I might do like a House of Black cosplay type thing.
Oh, we're going to get a Penta promo.
From Penta Oscuro.
Penta Oscuro.
House of Black. Gracias por habernos.
Fucking Alex, dude.
Veo que les gusta esconderse en la oscuridad. Pero ahí es el lugar donde me siento más vivo y más fuerte. En esta vida solo hay dos cosas seguras. Y una de ellas es que el Death Triangle es inevitable. Penta Oscuro says, House of Black, thank you for changing us. We see that you like to hide in the darkness, but in the darkness is where Penta Oscuro feels most alive and strongest. In this life, there are only two things that are guaranteed, and one of which is that the Death Triangle is inevitable. Cero.
That was cool.
Alex is hilarious in this character. I'm just gonna embrace it rather than, you know, be like, what the fuck is this? I think it's hilarious.
Oh, I want to hear Max Caster talk.
Yeah.
Big man Keith Lee. Do you have anything else to say before you have to put your money where your mouth is?
Yeah, Mark, I'm not so worried. I got a lot of money and a lot of mouth, I'll tell you that. And I'm a big guy too, so I'm not afraid to back it up. Back it up, and that's what you're gonna be kissing after this match, Keith. Tell him, Bowens.
That's right, the Acclaimed aren't afraid of your King Henry VIII sounding ass, no!
That's right, go back to the Renaissance fair, bitch.
This is our night, our show.
I fucking love the Acclaim. These are my guys.
You see their new shirt? Everybody loves the Acclaim.
I really want to get it. I did see it.
I'm actually a fan, Evan. I appreciate what you bring to this company. And I even appreciate you calling me a king just now, as you should. Because the reality is this. When you step in the ring with an entity like me, you're going to learn a lesson that will be very painful. So prepare yourself. Because at the end of the day, the Acclaimed are just a stepping stone for me. Come and bask in my glory.
Well, looks like there's been enough talk.
Man, Keith Lee is good too.
For the main event.
Oh, this is gonna be so good.
I want to remind everybody, Aew Dynamite comes to you live this Wednesday night, 8/7 Central on TBS. And Tony Khan is
People are gonna be going crazy all over the place.
Tag team match, anything goes. Sting, Darby Allin, Matt and Jeff Hardy versus Private
MJF
He's just gonna
speed.
be out there watching everybody.
MJF for the first time since he cost Wardlow the TNT championship.
JAS versus Dark Order.
Yo, imagine Cody makes the Cody Appreciation Society, and they're all pro wrestlers.
Right.
Time here on TNT, 10 Eastern, 9 Central. Now, let's head to the ring for our main event.
For he is limitless.
Dude, this Mikey Ruckus, man, I don't think he's made a bad song yet.
Yeah, Mikey Ruckus is like on the same level as Jim Johnson back in the day.
Yeah.
Approaching the ring from Wichita Falls, Texas, weighing 348 pounds, for he is limitless.
I just feel like I gotta show this off to the stream real quick.
But as we've heard over the last few weeks, he gets a huge reaction everywhere we go.
Riho, 1 of 1,000. Championship belt around her waist. Let's go.
Too much, Ricky. I think you can speak on this better than me, my friend. I definitely was about to say, hey, he ain't the only superstar sitting right here, Chris. This guy, come on. Come on. Look at me compared to him. Limitless. Read the jacket. I'm absolute.
Keith Lee set to square off with Platinum Max Caster.
Oh, here comes the rap. Gotta check it out.
And his opponent, Max Caster.
Yo! Listen! Yo! Yo! The Acclaimed fighting Keith Lee. There's no hope for him. Have him running like Ted Cruz in a snowstorm. Yo, you must be new here. Those are our colors, man. You need to get some new gear. I'm not Ramon, but my words be razorin'. Have you sending pics from bed like Pete Davidson? last time you be at the show, they gonna have to remember you like the Alamo.
Remember that, bitch.
Remember that, bitch?
What is that microphone?
It's amazing. I love the Acclaim so much.
Is it wrapped in tinfoil? People got the scissor. Oh my god. You see the
Hell yeah,
scissor
man.
signs?
I did. The Acclaim made scissoring cool, man.
Yeah. I remember when they first started doing that, I was like, man, Tony's gonna tell him to knock that shit off, but nope.
Everyone loves the Acclaimed, even Tony Khan.
But when you get in the ring with Keith Lee, he's gonna tear his head off if he's not careful.
6.5.
Oh, bask in his glory.
Look at me, still smiling. But half your head's still kind of flat. Yeah, we're working on that.
And you hear this capacity crowd in San Antonio, their support for Limitless Keith Lee, and we will be returning to the great state of Texas for 3 huge events.
I love it.
Next Wednesday night, March 23rd at the HEB Center in Austin, the Cedar Park area. Then we return in April, Friday, April 15th in Garland, Texas, just outside of Dallas, the Curtis Caldwell Center for Rampage and Bet All the Belts too. Plus our return to Houston, Texas, the Fertitta Center, Wednesday, May 18th. Tickets for all 3 events on sale right now, AEWTIX.com.
Texas has been great to AEW since the day we started.
Caster.
Fans going crazy right here tonight.
But Taz, you and I have a special opportunity on AEW Dark to kind
Max Caster ain't got no wings, he can't fly. Uncle Phil gonna toss his ass into the sky.
Someday.
You're gonna get beat up by Brian Danielson right now.
Someday, the Acclaimed will be the tag team champions, and I will fucking love it. Someday.
Someday.
He's a talented young man. He gets you.
I'm alright with it.
But he can go between the ropes. And that's what I've been trying to say. Like I said on Dynamite, I try to give these guys a pep talk to say, hey, protect your spot. We got these people coming in trying to copy us. They're trying to take everything from us. Don't let them. We've worked too hard here to get to where we're at.
Bury the young guys.
That's what I want to do.
Jesus Christ.
Like a true sports entertainer. Absolutely. I'm not messing around.
Oh, wait a...
Look at this.
Keith Lee.
Oh shit.
Lock on one hand. Keith Lee, you can see that massive upper body of his.
He's gonna rip his arm off. Those raps weren't so funny after all, were they, Caster?
And Caster, no small man, 230 pounds, and Keith Lee just very effortlessly.
Yeah. Well, big time target on his shoulder. You know, with that, he's got some kind of issue going on with that left shoulder, does Caster.
Ooh, uppercut. And the drop kick.
Athletic.
Yeah, Keith Lee staggered a little bit there. Now the hammer throw, nope, Keith.
The arm is weak. That's why he's not able to pull.
Got Ref Aubrey in the ring here. Interesting fact real quick, I just heard Ref Aubrey has counted the pin every time Britt Baker's lost. I'm not sure how correct that is, but I think it is.
You are correct, I believe.
Max Caster's not a small guy. He's a big man. That's my point, Taz. I agree. It's like in Keith Lee, you could show a movie on this guy's back. You could. A big cigarette machine with a head on it, as Teddy Irvin used to say.
Ooh, Caster.
Did you see Aubrey's arm after counting that pin in the thumbtacks?
Yeah, I did.
Oof. I was like, well, if anybody doubted that those thumbtacks were real.
Unbelievable.
Oh, Caster put on the brakes.
The work that he did, the agility and the speed Keith Lee just showed right there is very, very impressive. Oh, that leapfrog was legit. But the followed by a quick drop down as well. That was, no, you're right. The crowd was clapping for Caster to stop him. Oh.
Whoa.
Never mind.
Keith Lee didn't even have to arch back.
All right. I think strength over technique there worked.
Perfect segue.
There's Hobbs.
Powerhouse Hobbs.
Powerhouse Hobbs representing Team Taz. We will need to keep an eye on this situation, and we will do so in picture-in-picture.
My man.
That was weird seeing Keith Lee use that belly to belly the way he did, just kind of like flipping him over his head like that.
And one of them is trying their best to ruin every dish.
The sauce was salt water.
Good about sabotage.
I know a rat when I see one.
Who will be sabotaged?
There's milk in here.
Will the cooks?
I think there was actually more technique than I'm giving him credit for, too.
It's getting a little tricky. The rat is...
No way! Rat in the Kitchen, a new copy.
Oh, my yawning has begun. That double hand slap that dude in the audience was so happy. How you think this match finishes?
Oh, Keith winning.
Gotcha.
Unfortunately, I mean, I love Max Caster, but Keith Lee's still new. He's on that high, so.
I just see too much opportunity for interference here.
Perhaps. Huh.
That movie looks terrible.
I'm trying to figure out what the gist of it was. Like, is she like multiple personalities, or is she just a hoe? And like, is Ben Affleck the one that's trying to kill her, or is someone trying to kill both? Like,
Well,
that was
the way that I
weird.
took
Like,
it is she's a crazy murderer and she killed that dude, and
right?
Ben Affleck has
Okay.
a kid with her, and I don't know.
All right. Okay. See, it looks bad, but I was so intrigued because I couldn't figure out what it was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know what this is, so I want to figure out what this is before I continue with my life. But
Yeah.
I think you might be right on that.
Who are you?
Ricky.
Who are you? What is his purpose out here, Star? Well, hello. We're both out here broadcasting. He's part of Team Taz, Excalibur. Caster challenging his inner hook.
Caster, once again, he's been getting the upper hand. We said how big Keith Lee is earlier in this matchup, but Caster's got him downtown to Chinatown, but don't let him stand up.
That's the problem. You can't let him stand up. Keith Lee.
This is not where you want to be.
He's up on his feet. He's carrying all 230 pounds of Max Caster.
Choke him out. Come on.
Caster. Just a backhand.
You got to do better than that.
Oh,
Come on. Come on, Max.
Watch out here.
He just
misdirection.
grabbed him right out of the ring.
He bodied him.
I love that shoulder tackle.
Misdirection. Body.
Yeah.
Wow.
The giant moose on the plains just hitting his prey across the whole ring.
Here it
That's
comes.
Saskatchewan, Chris. Keith Lee.
Could be.
Oh, big deal.
Oh.
Big deal.
Oh.
A huge deal.
There's the Keith Lee. You can see the look in his eyes now. That
And Caster does weigh like 250.
Yeah, he's no small guy.
Yeah, Keith Lee, when he kicks it into gear, I'm not sure there's anybody that can stop him. Max Caster's going to have to bring his A game from here on out.
I know one guy who can stop Keith Lee, and he's standing right behind
Damn
him.
right about that. Powerhouse high. That was just a kick to the top of the kneecap of Keith Lee, and then went to the chest. That thrust
right
kick
to the face.
Keith Lee dropped to one knee. That's just got some momentum here.
Come on.
Oh, this isn't gonna work.
What's he gonna try and do?
trying to,
He can do
blow
it.
out his groin, his own groin. By
You see Aubrey.
He can do it. Max Caster thinks better of it. Keith Lee lands an elbow, a back elbow, headbutt.
Oh.
Double overhand chop to the chest.
Oh my God! Picked him up like a flea. Oh, Caster's done.
No. Keith.
Oh,
Oof.
gosh!
For he is limitless.
No interference at all. I like it.
That was brutal. That was vicious. Even Bowens felt that one. Is Caster okay? He could be out.
Let's take a look at how this thing ended.
Look at this thing.
Ooh.
Gosh.
I can't believe it. Keith Lee. Very
I'm surprised Hobbs and Ricky Starks aren't already in the ring.
Coliseum.
You do not get up from that. And Keith Lee knows it. Look at that look on his face. He's pissed.
He's ticked off.
An
Hold on.
emphatic, impressive victory. And look at this. Keith Lee turning his attention up to Powerhouse Hobbs.
Wait, no, wait, hold on. Damn it. Oh, wait a minute. Wait, Hobbs. He lost his cool here. Ricky, like, oh no.
And Starks is gone.
Remember that huge spine buster that Hobbs landed on Keith Lee? That was like Arn Anderson on
The
Vader.
Acclaim.
But right now, Starks and Hobbs swarming on Keith Lee.
Yeah, good luck, Keith Lee, after that war you just had here. And the Acclaim, look at the Acclaim helping. I love it.
To the face, to the head. Starks with that half tank top on, going crazy in there.
I love seeing this. I'm happy about this.
What's up with Ricky Starks' shirt being like half on?
This is unfair.
I think because he was booking it.
A 4-on-1 decimation.
But look at this.
Who's that?
Stay on him.
Oh shit! All right, Swerve.
Strickland, you better be careful.
Swerve
He's
Strickland.
got the chair, and of course they run cowering.
He's got a weapon, and he needs to come out here with an equalizer. He was outnumbered.
And Bowens, Caster, Starks, and Hobbs thinking better of it.
Oh shit!
We mess around with Ricky
Swerve and
Starks.
Starks, dude. Woo.
I do not want to see Ricky Starks angry.
Well, is this
Yes,
Swerve
please.
involved with business you shouldn't have got involved with Team Taz and with the Acclaim.
Some sort of alliance here between Swerve Strickland and Keith Lee.
Maybe, or just Swerve might have a bone to pick with Ricky Starks. Starks has been calling him out on social media.
Allies by proxy, Excalibur. And look at Caster, can barely walk after that vicious finish he just took from Keith Lee.
Be an enemy of my enemy is my friend situation.
There you go.
Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland united.
I think Swerve's the one that took the North American Championship from Keith Lee.
I think you might be right.
Yeah. My God, man! Imagine making all these champions and then just being like, "See ya." The hell.
Yeah, right.
Oh, dude, great episode of Rampage. Just as good as every other episode of Rampage for the past 2 months, 3 months.
Yeah, it was a very good show.
I still can't believe they fit 4 matches with promos and everything into an hour. It goes by so fast.
Yeah, definitely. So I thought this show actually it felt longer than an hour.
I was gonna say the same, but I think it was the time slot.
Yeah, it's definitely it wasn't a bad show, but again, man, these late fucking wrestling shows, they are brutal.
Yeah. All right. Well, I definitely enjoyed this episode. I don't think we need to go over everything. You know, we kind of gave our thoughts on it as it went down. So I think we should call it a night. How about you?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Right on, man. So thank you for anybody that kept it with us here over on YouTube. And you'll be able to catch the first part of the podcast, the weekly review. We'll have that up on Spotify probably tomorrow morning. All right. All right, man. Have a good night.
You too.
Right on, everybody. Take it easy.